All right. Looks like we're live.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you got
Hello,
Let's probably
chat.
just wait a second for people to roll in here.
Yeah, you don't have like a pre-show thing or something?
Nope. This is the laziest podcast of all time. I put zero effort into it. The overlay looks cheap. You know, it's just.
That's bad.
I like the overlay.
Okay, now people are rolling in. Here we go. Are you gonna read the chat, Sven?
I mean, I'd have to pull it up first. I literally just woke up. It's like 7 a.m. here. I woke up at 6:30 a.m. for this.
Oh wow, yeah, so I would never do that.
My brain is still activating.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I usually wake up around 7 a.m. though.
Yeah, that's good time. Me, it's just whenever the sun comes up. So earlier sometimes, later other times.
Yeah, I wake up at noon. So.
Yeah, again, I'm in Bali, Indonesia over here. I just doxed myself.
That's all right.
They'll find you now. It's over.
So we had a lot of power outages. My internet's, I'm not gonna tempt it, so I'm not even gonna pull up the stream. I won't be able to read the chat. I'm not gonna tempt fate here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. Chat never has anything important to say.
That's true. They never add anything. Okay, so I guess we can just start the podcast normally. Did I say welcome back to Chudcast yet? I don't know. I'm already forgetting. Welcome back to Chudcast, the worst podcast on the internet. Though it's a guest episode, so maybe it'll be slightly less shitty. And joining us is Sven Stoffels, the very edgy animator. Would you like to... I mean, I'm just being honest, you know?
Sure, yeah, I'm a very edgy. Look, that's actually a positive thing, I think. As an artist, you want to be on the edge. You know what I'm saying? If you're not on the edge, what are you doing?
Here, it absolutely is good. Edgy is definitely a compliment in this audience. But
yeah, but I think it's the job of the artist too to sort of like go over the edge to find what is acceptable, is not acceptable, and then show people some of those things that might be part of their preconceived notions. Break barriers. I think that's a good thing for an artist to be edgy.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. We'll show some of your shit a bit later. We'll just get into the gaming news first.
Before we do you have like any like links and stuff like where people can find you?
Yeah, I should fucking throw that shit in the chat, but here, I'll just...
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Again, I can't really use my browser right now because I'm afraid everything's going to go to shit, but... You can find me on Twitter at Sven Stoffels, SvenStoffels, Sven Stoffels. And I mean, I guess maybe if some of my guys are in the chat, they can post some of the.
Hold on, I could probably pin something real quick. Let's see, how do I pin?
Job.
All right, I have pinned
paid so much.
your Twitter. There we go. I pinned your Twitter. Slightly professional. There we go.
That's pretty good. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my Twitter. I just yesterday the day before that we started sending out my newest graphic novel, Butch Gilligan, which I think will show some of my trailers. I literally finished the launch trailer for that yesterday as well, which I'm kind of excited about. I don't know if you guys both have seen that one yet.
No, I haven't actually watched it yet, but I do have it up here.
Yeah, we'll check that out later too. But we were talking before about big cancellations and stuff like that. I don't know if you want to get into that.
Yeah, you can talk. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that first.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel, I had a pretty decent YouTube channel going. It was 36,000. Nothing compared to you guys, obviously, but he's doing pretty well.
Well, Devin is nothing. He's just my brother. He has no involvement in the channel. It's only me. But go ahead.
Well, still, So yeah. Just the other week, my channel just got removed during a live stream without any warnings, no strikes, nothing, and then poof, it was gone. And I happened to be talking about actually a very feminist topic, completely different from my usual topics, which are, as you just mentioned, pretty edgy. But I was talking about the exploitation of the porno industry of women. Yeah, I might have talked about some of the more, exploitative, egregious, horrible, gory things that they make these women do.
Right.
And yeah, that's what did it this time around. Poof, gone. My channel that I had since like 2007.
Damn.
Disappeared. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that does
I've been.
suck.
I don't know if you've. I've at one point I made my biggest cancellation that I've went through was when I made a cartoon when Corona first dropped. You guys remember COVID?
Yep.
No,
When,
I actually can't remember.
Yeah, no, Devin's too young. He was a toddler back then.
I was just a baby.
Yeah, when that just dropped, they had these memes going. You had like Corona Chan, and it was like this anime girl with pom-poms, and it was
Yep.
like a little, you're like little virus ball pom-poms. It was all this cute anime stuff. And I just thought, like, that's not really accurate to what this virus is doing, because back then, this is when it just dropped. People sort of don't really remember what that was like, but it was like, people were really scared. So I made this cartoon, this kind of 90s style gross out cartoon with like a Chinese caricature,
Yeah.
with like buck teeth, with like centipedes crawling through her teeth. She's holding like it's like really disgusting. You can find it still somewhere, I guess, on the BitChute or whatever banned websites. You can still find that one. And yeah, I got the Chinese CCP party on my ass. They canceled me. They got rid of my Patreon at the time, all my social media. They went as far as to contact my old bosses, my family.
Damn.
My brother had a newborn child at the time. They were sending like pictures of decapitated baby heads to his house. Like, it was really crazy, that one.
Wow.
Yeah, the
I got, like,
Chinese are a
thousands
little
of them.
extra. They go a little farther than the normal cancellation. Yeah,
They don't like to get offended, it seems. They don't know what free speech really is. They're not used to that type of
They
stuff.
have money in
True.
it. Like, our guys, they do it for fun. They cancel people for fun. The Chinese, they get paid to fuck with people.
Yeah, they were relentless. So that fucking sucked.
Yeah,
But we
sounds
always
like
come
it.
back. I always come back like we got to do what we got to do.
I'm glad I've never attracted that kind of attention. I just have, mentally ill degenerates who hate me for the most part. So.
Is this the image?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
do you guys
I
think
probably
of that?
don't
That's
want to. I don't think I want to put that up.
That's great. though.
Really? I mean,
Well,
to me,
okay,
to me,
fine,
that's
I
sorta
will,
Like,
I
it's
will.
like Red and Stimpy.
It's not too bad.
Fun.
Well,
Look, by the
you
way,
know.
the temperature has kind of gone down. People don't really care about this one anymore. But yeah, back
True.
when I released this, it was like, oh my god. They wrote like news articles about it on like Chinese websites and stuff.
Yeah, this is what I got it from. Is a news article. It's where I found.
Yeah, isn't
this
that great?
image.
It's just a cute little Ren and Stimpy-esque little cartoon, you know?
Yeah, no, that's not nearly as bad as I thought. I thought it was gonna be, a little more racy to get baby heads, sent to your house.
Come on, dude. Look, I grew up in Europe. I'm from the Netherlands originally. We grew up reading like Lucky Luke and Asterix and Obelix, those type of guys. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those types of comics.
No.
This is what they drew
vaguely.
Chinese people like. I can't help it. That's my influence.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't as bad as like World War II propaganda, and
Yeah, exactly. You know?
Yeah, you
Like,
did
literally,
nothing
if you
wrong. You did nothing wrong. Just
you.
remember that.
Like,
No.
that's what I needed to hear.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad chat liked it because I threw it up on the podcast over there.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking of
And maybe
which,
you
I
tell
should
people
screen
that I'm
share.
the Eli Klein guy.
Oh
You know
well,
that?
yeah.
I'm the Eli Klein guy.
I don't want to throw up the fucking Ela cartoon.
No, you don't have to pull up the cartoon, but just so they know that it's that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, he is that guy. You guys know already. I brought it up actually when I announced that you were the guest a while ago, but
I see.
yeah. Okay, well, yeah, I guess on my side of the cancellation thing, much more minor but still concerning. I got another warning strike for hate speech, even though I didn't even say hate in the clip. I can't play the clip, but during the Doll's Nest stream, I was talking about well, I almost don't want to say the phrase, but I was talking about
don't say the exact words.
I was talking
will
about
not
the
repeat
black
that word.
pill, and I was also talking about Chads, and for some reason, that subject matter, which, you can't click on it because the stream's gone permanently now, during that part, the AI detection seems to think I was saying hate speech. So I'm assuming it thought I said something racist about black people. Either that or they're testing out, new restrictions on talking about incel-related content. So that's really worrying.
Yeah, you know what's weird? So that's a hate speech. I got my channel got completely removed because of nudity and sexual content, right? Even though I was talking about the exploitative nature of the porno industry. Like, how does that make any sense?
Wait, did you show porn though?
Well, no, I didn't show any porno, no footage, nothing. I did show I showed a thumbnail which didn't have any nudity in it of Lana Rhodes. I don't know if you guys have heard of that porno star.
Yep.
She was like,
yeah, I know.
She's like one of the top porno stars, and the reason I brought her up specifically is because they're doing like this anti-porno run now, and then the producers are not happy about that, so they're as like a blackmail tactic, they're releasing all this like unedited footage of her doing the most heinous acts.
Right.
And by the way, look, she's a naive idiot, you know what I'm saying? She sort of like did this to herself, but it's neither here nor there. And yeah, it was her drinking a big giant bowl of urine, let's say.
Yeah, great.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that did it. But I mean, is that against the rules? You're not allowed to show that? I don't know.
No, I think they just wanted you done, and they just came up with a reason.
Yeah, the fact that it was instantly terminated, they definitely wanted to just get rid of you. They would have at least just given you a strike or something.
Well, RIP. Well, I'm back now. We're rebuilding the channel, by the way. It's called Sven Streams. If you want to see edgy art streams, Sven Streams. Anyways.
All right, I can probably look that up and put it as like a pinned link in the description. I'll try to remember that. I fucked up in the past related to that, but I will remember. Okay, so into the gaming news this week. The big news
podcast. When did that happen?
Yeah, I know. We're pretending. We're pretending. So the big news that just happened: GTA 6 is now coming May 26, 2026. Got delayed. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I completely saw this coming. They would have already revealed a bunch more gameplay by now if it was coming out this year. So yeah, there's not too much to say on this one. Pretty much Rockstar just wrote a short message, and it's meaningless. It's just like they want to make the game as good as possible before it comes out. That's pretty much it. So
what do you think the real reason is? Do you think they're in trouble internally? Like, could be good news if they're getting rid of the HR departments and all the woke advisory positions.
Well, yeah,
rewriting the story probably.
That is a theory that it has to do with woke stuff. So, they might be removing some woke shit. I'm not sure, really.
I'm always on the caution where things are going to get worse. So I think they're adding more black people to the beaches. They saw there weren't enough.
Sometimes it kind of works in the reverse, though, because, we're going to be driving our Jeeps through, crowds and crowds of black people in this game.
They lose either way because the game has too much freedom. So either way, you can have a good time.
Yeah, as long as you can still play as the white trailer trash boyfriend, which people are theorizing that you might not be able to play as both characters anymore, and you'll just play as the Latina, but I doubt it. They would have said something by now, I think. But yeah, the white trash guy killing minorities, that could be a problem. Maybe.
Hey, what was that strike about?
Is it bad optics?
What'd you say, Devin?
I said, what was that strike about again?
Well, it was about the black pill, not about minorities. No.
Okay.
BIPOC.
Yeah. Okay, next piece of news. This is bad for everybody, and I saw this coming as soon as Nintendo announced that games would be $80 or even $90. Microsoft is raising prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, and games worldwide. So, let's see. The Xbox Series X is being bumped up by $100 to $600. And yes, and there's another article I have here that's saying what is it that's going? The top of the line Xbox is going to be $730, which is $30 more expensive than the PS5 Pro's $700.
Yeah, and these are the consoles that already exist. So like you could have bought them at a cheaper price, and they have
That's
increased.
Crazy. Yeah. It's kind of a ballsy move because I don't think anybody was buying Xbox anymore to begin with. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the games are also going up to $80 to match Nintendo's. So that's good.
That's nuts. And aren't they all on PC anyways, these games?
Yep.
Even PlayStation is releasing their exclusives to PC, so what's the point? I bought a PlayStation 5 when it came out, all excited. There's nothing. Like
Yep.
literally no game still.
Yep.
And that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, mine's just
Yeah,
collecting
Astrobot.
dust. Yeah, did you play Astrobot?
I did not.
Well, that's like the only good one.
I got tricked. I was a big Souls guy.
Right.
I was gonna say the N word there. You see, I'm really
really? Why were you gonna say that?
not with a hard R though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Souls.
Uh-huh. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they wrote me in with that Demon Souls
Oh, the
remake,
remake,
which kind of turned out sucking too a little bit. They really butchered that one.
Yeah, the
I'm
art
kind
style.
of against remakes, but
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I've made multiple videos on how bad remakes are. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely against them.
look, they can do it, I think, but it needs to have the complete original artistic team. And if they sort of want to reimagine their original vision on like new hardware or whatever, I think that's fine, right? But if it's like, if it's like a new Western team that has to, just what do they know? Like they got rid of so much cultural little hints and stuff. It dilutes. If you want to see video games as works of art, like that dilutes it. You know, they stripped it from its meaning, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Blue Point fucked that up completely with the Demon Souls remake.
They suck.
Yep.
Let's see. Was there anything else in here about the... They said the controllers are going up in price, too. Oh, yeah. The base controller moving to $65, and the Xbox wireless headset is now $120 for the shitty headset. I mean, a good beginner microphone for YouTube is $140, and you're gonna pay $120 for a shitty Xbox headset?
This honestly makes no sense. This business decision. Does this have something to do with the tariffs or something like that? They're getting all this shit from Taiwan. I don't know.
Yeah, I
partially
assume.
because I know they're increasing the price more for the U.S. than other areas, but also more for like. I think UK, they're increasing it the least. Like, it's only going up by 20 pounds. And then some Europeans, it's like 60 euros. And then the US, it's $100.
Yeah, well, good riddance, Xbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
No one was buying them anyway, though. Like you were saying, I don't know what the point is.
Yeah, that seems really strange.
For the next piece of news, we have yet another Half-Life 3 rumor. I'm not sure why I bothered queuing this up, but whatever. Half-Life 3 is being widely play-tested ahead of a possible summer reveal, winter release. Game is playable from beginning to end. And, yeah, I don't know. This is probably bullshit, but...
Didn't they leak the entire script at some point? Didn't internally, like some Valve
the
guys?
original.
Yeah, they
for
got
the
rid of that
original.
writer, though. He left. Or he left
Yeah,
willingly, or whatever.
What do you mean the original? The original Half-Life 3? Is that what you
The
mean?
original writer
Yeah.
of the story left Valve, like,
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
But what got leaked was the story for Half-Life 3 when it was being originally developed. So this is
Yeah.
probably not related because it's been so long. There's no way they're doing. I mean, they might, but given they fired the original writer, I doubt they're doing the same story.
Yes. Yeah. So then, what's the point? So then it's just gonna be it's gonna be Half-Life and name only. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a cash
No
grab.
one who made Half-Life 1 or 2 even works there for the most part. Like all of the
Yeah.
greats have left.
Yeah, so,
what's
well,
the
there
point?
was a positive feedback to Half-Life Alyx, but I think that's because there were no good VR games. So you have one good
Yeah.
VR game, so everyone eats it up. So now they think it's time for Half-Life 3, I guess.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no faith.
Didn't-
None.
No, that's gonna suck.
All right, now for the next piece of news, this is sort of like an addendum on some earlier drama about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Sven, have you seen my 4-hour-long video?
I have not seen that one yet. I will though. I really like your videos. Now this one was egregiously because this is something that they seem to be doing, and I think you've probably noticed this trend. So they rope you in with like a good first game, right? So for instance, let's take The Last of Us as an example, which by the way I also did a cartoon about. So they have like the strong cis white male power fantasy character in their first games. And they have like a semi-competent story like The Last of Us. And then when they do the sequel, that's where all the woke garbage, the activism, the neoliberal propaganda gets loaded in. By the way, so when Last of Us 2 got that leak came out, Sony was pulling all kinds of strings to get people removed, Reddit threads deleted, videos removed, and stuff like that. So I thought I'm gonna approach this leak artistically, and I made this little cartoon where Abby, I believe, the butch, that buff.
Yeah, I'm. Oh, hold on, that was way too loud. Fuck, that probably that you raped some motherfuckers. All right, hold on, I'll play it on screen.
Yeah, you know, we're big fans of Abby on this channel. Abby's our hero.
Yes, yeah, Abby is a good meme for the channel. So, yeah, people are probably liking this shit.
She's so cool.
Yeah, they fucked her up in the TV show. They should have had like Brock Lesnar player, and you know.
Yeah, they couldn't find like a buff.
Yeah, that's so disappointing. It's unreal. All right, well, there you go. That was perfection.
Yeah, so my idea behind this was I'm gonna make an artistic depiction of the leaks. Like, how could they possibly strike this? It's not theirs. It's an animation, right? Well, that didn't stop them, so they strike my channel to get rid of it, and then a few weeks after the release of the game, they put the cartoon back. They allowed it back online. So that didn't work. But yes, they seem to be doing that a lot. So you have your first good, strong, cis white male power fantasy, and then they subvert it on the second game. Now, I think the exact same thing happened to Deliverance 2. Now, I didn't even play the first one, so I'm not really sure about this, but maybe you can tell me.
Yeah, so I played the first one. I basically started it like a year before the sequel came out, but I only played it for a few hours. But right before the sequel came out, I went back, finished the whole thing. And while there are certain aspects of the game that are subversive, like it's fairly critical of Christianity, but I think in sort of a fair way in some ways. I mean, I have like some evangelical Christian fans, so they were very upset about certain aspects of the game. It didn't really bother me that much, but I can see why they're mad. But for the sequel, they just went like, you know, they inserted so much obvious gay shit that people are defending because, well, I don't want to get into this too much because I don't want to start drama. I'm literally trying to stop drama currently, which I won't go into in this Chudcast. But the point is, the anti-woke people, they knew that the first game was considered to be base by all the, you know, historians and like the chuds because it's an all-white people game and it's historically accurate, etc., etc. And then the sequel, you know, they have this fucking African character who's just straight up a Mary Sue, you know, who, you know, he's a Muslim, he shits on Christianity, shits on the savages of Bohemia, and has done all these accomplishments, you know, extremely obnoxious character. There's the part where, I'll say the word because it's factually correct, but there's a part where you save the Jewish people, and it's a required quest. It's part of the main story.
Wait, you saved them?
Yeah, you have to.
What kind of a trouble are they? They were being expelled from the country or something?
Yes, they were being exiled / killed for the whatever amount of times it would have been at that point in history.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
Did they poison a well or something or clip?
They mentioned that. They mentioned eating Christian babies too. They say that. They literally said, dude, you have to watch the video. I know it's a long video.
I will.
You can use the chapter feature and just skip to the part where I talk about that because it's fucking unreal.
That's funny, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No one did because they didn't play that far because it was like 30 hours in. So,
holy shit.
Yeah, dude, they hit it well. But anyway, to get to this. Yeah.
Oh, shit. That kind of reminds me of in Last of Us 2 where you have this forced scene where in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, you have to go through the synagogue.
Yep.
They teach you about the wonders of Judaism.
Yep, I remember.
Did they put that in the TV show, by the way? Is there like
that'll be in the next episode. If they're going by like how it goes in the game, that'll be in the next episode if they keep it in.
It's going to be so funny if they do that, like the Jewish episode where you get to learn about the
I hope they
Judaism.
Do that. I really do hope.
Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So we'll just get into the news because I don't want to explain like the whole game or whatever. But so this interview came out that was, you know, he was speaking in Czech, so people had to translate it. And I'm not going to read this whole thing because it's a bunch of paragraphs. But the short version is, in the original translation, that someone who may or may not actually speak Czech, it sounds like it was like Google translated, right? It basically said that Daniel Vavra was scared of the game being labeled as, you know, right-wing blah 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 game, racist blah blah. And so they hired a bunch of consultancy groups for the new game, right, to make sure like all the religions and minorities are represented well or whatever. And so, it pretty much confirmed what everyone like me thought, that the game was woke as fuck for anyone who actually played it, right? And, it has underage gay sex in it. Is that really not woke?
Yo, what?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, you have to explain
I need
this?
to watch this video.
Yeah, trust
Dude,
me.
it's so much worse than you could imagine. It's so
I can't
bad.
believe, but how dumb are you as a video game studio to forcefully get like this Inquisition group of HR feminists to come and correct your art? Like, how horrible? Why would you ever do that?
Well,
It seems so stupid.
he's the part of a certain group, the guy who
He's
led the game.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Daniel Vavra.
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Suddenly everything makes sense.
So
got it.
the other reason I brought this up though is because there's been a fact correction. I'm not going to read this because it's like 10 paragraphs, but there's this other guy who actually does speak Czech who was translating it, I guess, a blue check mark on Twitter, which doesn't really mean anything anymore, but, still. Some guy has to fact check it and basically says, no, Vavra is not scared of the woke people, and he basically is now identifying as a centrist instead of wearing his #based shirt like he did when their first game came out. No, it's the anti-woke people being cringe, and they're just showing like how fucked up they are. He claims that he was scared of leftists insulting his depiction of, the phrase is persecuted homos and Musa being an outcast. How would lefties be mad about that? They love that shit. This is so delusional, it's unreal. They love when the LGBT and minorities are hated on by whites. That affirms their beliefs. This is the most retarded
that's their
shit.
whole thing.
Yeah,
that reaffirms their victim narrative.
Yeah, and then this is just straight up lies because we've seen the sales numbers. It says the rage campaign of the Puritans, as stupid as it was, actually helped the game by generating extra buzz. Well, here's the disproof for this. So the first game has sold like 8 million copies after 7 years, something like that. The second game sold 2 million in like less than a month, which sounds like a lot, except the sales dropped off a cliff. There's been no reports of sales since because they fucked over the original audience. No one's buying this shit. The normies bought into the hype, because they heard it was like the based game or whatever, and it was a high quality RPG. And then, word of mouth killed it for all of the original audience. We know it's not historically accurate. Musa is one of the least goddamn historically accurate characters ever put in fiction.
Musa?
Yeah, Musa's the African character. That's his name. Yeah. Yep. So
Iconic. I think a lot of people are going to be cosplaying as Musa this year.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Do you think this has something to do with like have you ever discussed this? I bet you have, like the ESG scores when you have you ever seen that video of like Larry Fink or whatever his name is, Steinberg?
Yeah.
They're talking about how like attitudes need to change and it needs to be forceful, top down social engineering and stuff like that. I think these guys got the call probably.
Yeah.
They definitely got there was a investment group.
Yes, they're owned by Embracer Group, and Embracer Group is funded by BlackRock, at least in part.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah, so this fucking guy, don't harass him, don't get me in trouble. Anyway, this guy, ignore that name on the screen, is just writing like several paragraphs of complete copium bullshit, and I don't want to read out this phrase, but I highlighted it on the stream. But basically, Daniel Vavra got called we'll say toucan Satanist, Brazilian Satanist, whatever term you want to use. So that's probably true, to be honest.
I see.
But
yeah.
Okay, let's move on before I get in trouble.
I mean, I don't want to chime in on that one,
Yeah.
Get this channel removed.
Yeah, we all know. We know. Everyone's thinking.
Yeah, we know. All right, this one I can't actually read the article despite disabling as many elements as I could because it's fucking Bloomberg. But EA lays off hundreds, cancels Titanfall game. So there was another Titanfall game in development, and now it's canceled. Isn't that great?
Yeah, this was the one that was an extraction shooter.
Oh, yeah. I think I did hear about that.
So like Tarkov.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be bad anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, almost definitely. Oh, did you? What happened with the whatever it's called, the Bungie one? Did it succeed? Did it fail?
Marathon? I don't think it's out yet, is it? When's Marathon coming out?
Oh, I guess it was just a playtest.
Yeah.
Isn't that what From Software is doing now too? They're doing like extraction shooter type stuff.
Yeah, with the fucking
man.
Bloodborne looking game. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
When we were watching that, I did a live stream on that Nintendo Direct. Usually I never do it, and the second that shot was on the screen, I'm like, this is a From Software game. This is nuts, right? Because they use the same basic character model anatomy in every single game since Dark Souls 3, but the arms are always a little bit too long, so you can immediately tell when it's a From Software game.
Yeah.
On the human characters. I was like, holy shit, is this Bloodborne? I was so excited, you know what I'm saying? Because Bloodborne is probably one of my favorite games ever. And then it turns out it's just another one of these little, like extraction shooter type things.
Yep.
It's weird.
So
maybe it's good. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have high hopes for it, but I guess I don't know. Who knows? I guess
we'll see.
For the next piece of news, we're not going to spend too much time on this because people already know I hate Borderlands. But Sony had a state of play where they showed off, I guess, 20 minutes of Borderlands 4. And
I feel Borderlands is the most astroturf. It's like that. What's that game? That Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands. I should be proud of this. But what is the game with like the dreadlocks woman that fights robots? This big Sony property.
Oh, what? Not No Man's Sky. No, it's the girl that the Sony guys.
Yeah, the girl boss. Yeah, Herman Hulst.
Yeah. Horizon. Yeah,
Horizon
Zero Dawn.
Horizon.
Yeah, those are these astroturfed games that nobody likes, but they just keep shoving it down your throat. And I feel Borderlands is in that category, and that game is too, where it's just like, who likes this shit? And you just keep pushing it down your fucking neck.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
There's some people obsessed with Borderlands 2, and they've been like riding that hype forever. And like I don't even think 2 is good, but they definitely haven't made anything good after that. And I guess they just had enough money in the bank to keep pumping out shit.
People just like the co-op shit. It's a game made for co-op. It has all the stupid loot shit. I don't like loot games, so that was never an appeal for me. But just the idea, people are like, oh, every gun is slightly different. Well, they're all the fucking same, and most are trash. Like, why would I give a shit?
Yeah, but it's funny. Don't you think the games are
funny? And the humor's so fucking bad. Like, the humor is unbelievably bad.
Writing.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it was doing the millennial writing thing before it was as bad as it is now, you know?
Yeah, you have like a wacky robot sidekick or something that does millennial stuff about paying the bills.
Yeah.
And having student
Oh my
debt.
God, Randy Pitchford looking rough right here. Jesus. All right, let's skip past that. But yeah, I guess there's probably not much to say. It's more Borderlands. People thought the third one was insufferable because the shit was so... There's like a million like cutscenes and like forced talking shit from what I heard, something like that. It's like people just want to shoot shit and pick up guns. They don't want to hear like their horrible comedy routine. You know, like you're forced to listen to the comedy shit from what I understand.
Oh God, yeah, that's so, like I'm so sick of well, I think everybody here is sick of modern gaming. But I think fundamentally what happens is these people sort of hate games because it goes against the medium itself. You know what I'm saying? What makes the medium of gaming original is the interactivity, the choice. That's what makes it unique from any other artistic medium. And rather than leaning into that, leaning into choice, minute-to-minute choice and freedom and decision making, they take that away from you constantly, where they really want to be movie makers, and they're so up their own ass, these writers, the hubris that people would want to sit there and listen to this fucking garbage. It's just sickening. I'm sick of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how true this is because I heard it on but some like former game dev was talking about it, that Hollywood, once they figured out like gaming was the more profitable than movies, invested a shit ton of money into games, and they were blaming that for like games being more like movies now and having all these cutscenes, is that Hollywood was paying for these games to be made basically. And
Yeah, but it's also that they're hiring like a Twitter. They were hiring a Twitter opinion piece writers to enter the gamer writers.
Well,
room,
that's
and then
Hollywood. Hollywood fucking loves that shit, you know?
Yeah, and then you have HR departments writing your stories now, and it's just atrocious. They're not artists. They don't really know what they're doing. And then, of course, everything becomes propaganda, which is also the antithesis of art, right? Look, for me, a story is like a survival guide. So you need to put your character in like the most crazy situations. Like we'll get into Butch Gilligan, my comic book later, and then to see how he gets out of it. But if you make a propaganda character, they can never really have any flaws, right? Like if you're trying to sell a product or an idea or a philosophy or a political philosophy, the people that are the avatars for these ideas can't really have any flaws, right? It's like you'll never see Ronald McDonald get fat and get like a heart attack. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In the same way, these characters, they all become Mary Sue's, and it doesn't make for very interesting stories. And yeah, I'm just completely fucking sick of left-wing storytelling wholesale, because there is some people that are so cocked they'll go, oh, just write your own stories. I would love to play as a strong black female, but just make it a good story. It's like, no, not me. I'm sick of it. I don't want that either.
Yeah, I'm glad you're with us on that.
Anyway.
It's funny you say shit like that, because that's what I think of with like the anti-woke people, because the race question always comes up for them, and like, no, it doesn't matter that the characters are all black or diverse or whatever if it was well written. It's like completely missing the fucking point.
Yeah, but it never.
Yes,
is,
you're being propaganda. You're gobbling up the slop. You know what I'm saying? You're eating the goy slob, but you're wishing for more. You fucking pussy.
Yeah, the problem is I can tell who wrote it. If I couldn't tell who wrote it, maybe it would be good, you know? Like maybe you could have a black girl who's a great protagonist and not a Mary Sue at all. But I know exactly who wrote this as soon as I see the character, you know?
Yeah,
and
by the way, look,
written anything good ever.
At least back in the day, you had the Toucans or the Brazilians. They were really good at propaganda because they snuck it under the radar. But now because they hired all these millennial feminists to write, they don't know how to do it. So it's so in your face that it's kind of working against them, I think. Everybody's sick of it.
Yep.
Yeah, we've talked about this a bunch, but like if you look back at a bunch of older stuff in games, you're like, wow, there's a ton of propaganda in this. And we just didn't notice. And it's like, dude, yeah, they were just good at it before. And when you're good at it, no one cares. Like if you're good at making propaganda, no one will notice and no one will care. Now they're just bad.
People are like, they're like nostalgic to like, if we only could go back to the 90s. If you go back now and you look at some of these 90s properties, yeah, you were being propagandized at then as well, but just in a more subtle fashion. You know what I'm saying? You need to be a lot more critical about this shit, and it should be and people need to gatekeep as well. Keep these people out because they're rats.
Yeah. Well, speaking of,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. Anyway, so speaking of what you were saying about these older games, it reminds me of the Stone Toss cartoon that kind of pissed off a lot of people about Half-Life 2. You know, people kept talking about that shit where it's like, you have the smart black guy professor, you have the half Asian, half black love interest. It's like, interesting.
The game was good, so no one cared, but now everything's bad, so we have to care. You know, it's like you made us care. Well, don't blame us for calling all this shit out when you can't make anything good. You know,
right? What was the example you were going to say, Devin?
Oh, I was just saying, I was watching old Simpsons clips, and it was crazy. Like, it's funny, you know, it's a good show, but then there are just times they'll be like, if you don't want as much immigration as possible, you're an idiot, and you're stupid and evil, and you commit crimes, not them, you know? And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I feel like people would be more mad if this came out today, you know, than it did back then.
Yeah, but again, that's a good example because The Simpsons, Family Guy, that all comes from Archie Bunker, right? That's the original. What was that? All in the Family? What was that show called?
You're talking to two borderline Zoomers right here. So.
Yeah, I was talking about literally Archie. Like,
I don't even know. I've never even seen that. Okay, but I know that like Cartman in South Park. He's based on Archie Bunker. It's this old television show. That's where this trope came from of like, the based, bumbling buffoon head of the family, the patriarch, but he's like dumb and retarded.
Yeah.
And the woman's in charge. sort of that archetype comes from Archie Bunker, and you see a lot of people go, if only we could go back to Archie Bunker, because in that show he actually said the N-word, and he said like he made like jokes about black stuff like that. But people don't understand is the propaganda was that guy was the idiot. You understand?
Yeah.
Like, cool. No, he was the butt of the joke. He's the retard. You understand? So even then, and this was like in the 60s, I think. Even then, you were being propagandized against, and they were laying the groundwork for all this extremely woke Ami gobbledygook.
Yeah, the type of shit you're saying, reminds me of like Devin Stack videos when he would review older movies and just show all the propaganda, even back in like the 60s. Yeah.
Yes. I think he must have gone over Archie Bunker. He must have gone over that one because that's
probably
like the prime archetype for guys like Homer Simpson and Family Guy and shit like that.
Yep. Okay, well, that was a good Borderlands talk.
Good Borderlands talk. Yeah. Great game.
Is that a running gun? Is it like a literal gun with feet?
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, it is a gun with feet. What the fuck? All right, that's stupid.
That's wacky.
Anyway, okay, next piece of news. This is a minor thing. We're probably not going to talk about Expedition 33 this Chudcast because, well, I only played it like 2.5 more hours because I don't know. Well, I'll talk about it. Look, a lot of people like it. I think it's a good game. But first, the news. It sold 1 million copies 3 days after launch, and it is a middleware game. It's not a AAA game. The main dev team was only about 30 people, I believe, but I think there was a bunch of like outsourcing and shit.
How many Indians, though?
Ex Ubisoft, disgruntled Ubisoft people, right, or something like that.
Is that what they were? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, so the game is good for sure. I won't deny that. That said, the reason I've only played 6 hours of the game is because half the game is cutscenes, and if I'm going to play the game for fun and not review it, I'm not really going to push through it. Like, I'm just taking my own pace. But for like it's like it plays like an old school JRPG, sort of, except they added dodging and parrying to make it more reactive. It's kind of like the Mario and Luigi games, if you played any of those. But the point is, I mean, it does evoke that sort of classic JRPG quality, except minus, there's not like that much like interacting with NPCs in the world because you're kind of like in a hostile environment. I mean, I just got out of like, you go to a town of like these paintbrush little like mannequin dudes. And so that was like kind of a JRPG town, except most of the characters didn't really say anything of value. So even then, like, it's very much like a corridor style game. You're just kind of going point A to point B. And that said, I like it, but I'm not going to review it for a video because I'm so far behind. But I just wanted to throw out brief thoughts there that I do think it is one of the best games that's released this year so far, but that's a very low bar, obviously.
Yeah, I heard good things about this game. I always was interested in like, is this going to be woke or not? And then I heard people saying that yes, it is very woke because there's a bunch of historically
the beginning's
inaccurate.
Yes, it's very diverse at the beginning. Yes, yeah.
There you go.
Well,
and again, look. People will go like, "Come on, do you have to be that strict?" And I would say, "Yes, you got to just be that strict." You know what I'm saying? You got to give it the woke stamp, even if it's just something like that. But yes, it is a game that's made with a lot of passion by passionate developers. They did a lot with the small budget that they had. It's not my cup of tea. I'll just say that.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing against RPGs, but it's not exactly my type of game. And it's the type of game, like, the thing that is usually the appeal with JRPGs for me is they're very casual. Like, you don't need reflexes. You could play them at 3 in the morning and be fine. This game, you have to dodge and parry. So if you're tired, you're going to be bad at the game, because it's half the game.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I will say, look, they got a lot of inspiration from games like Persona and stuff like that. And I think the more abstract, cartoony anime style of a game like Persona really lends itself for that flashiness and stuff like that. And I think if you have hyper realistic characters, for me it doesn't really work. I don't like the that flashy aesthetic that they went with these characters. I think the animations look kind of weird because it's meant to be photorealistic. So I'm just not a big fan of the aesthetic, but I'm very strict when it comes to stuff
I was with you on that. I mean, when you play it, it's not as bad, but yeah, like the hyperrealism does clash with the high fantasy elements.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. These are less news, more like extra trailer things. Honestly, we'll just skip these. One thing I want to go over that's not gaming news. I don't know if this has gone viral. I don't know if you've seen this, Sven. Have you seen the face tracking add-on for VR chat that went viral?
No, I have not seen that.
Okay, well, why don't you just watch this and see how it makes you feel?
All right. Oh shit. Yeah, it's like that live 2D VTuber technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible, Kobe. You can finally have a girlfriend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Too bad that's a 22-year-old French guy doing all of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that funny? They said like I think it's like 9 out of 10 OnlyFans models nowadays are like AI rendered fake.
Yeah, I have
people
heard about
made
that.
by Indian. Like the
Incredible.
entirety of the Indian economy it runs on like OnlyFans nowadays.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
that,
these.
that just goes with the scamming division. You know, that was already most of their economy.
It is funny because I was looking into like stable diffusion stuff. I try to keep up with this technology a little bit because I'm as an animator I'm waiting for when AI can properly do in betweening because that will really. Like I have a different take on AI. It has good things, bad things. I think eventually it's going to be able to be used as a tool by artists to make and it can actually like empower like indie creators. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there it is,
Yep.
Butch Gilligan.
Yeah,
but yes,
that-
I was looking
yeah.
into that stuff. But I was just gonna say every time you look up a tutorial on anything to do with like AI stuff, it's always an Indian guy. And today we're going to look, and they're always rendering like sexy, big-titted white women.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
what is
yeah.
this about?
That's what it was made for.
Yeah, all tutorials are about that.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what people want. That's
Okay, well, that was all of our news, so now we can get into your stuff then.
All right, you want me to lead this in a little bit? I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's
Yeah,
better
yeah.
to show the other one first, and then we'll watch this one that you pulled up right now.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is the
hold on.
trailer. So I made I'm a comic book artist, an animator, I'm a bunch of things, but I make my own indie comic book. I think we should just watch the trailer and then people will know because this sort of leads you into what this thing is. I animated this. I do everything myself. And yeah, we just we successfully finished 2 campaigns. We have book 1, book 2. Currently, I'm working on book 3, and this is the trailer I just launched today. So let's watch it.
All right.
Butch Gilligan. Meet Butch Gilligan, the last man in a world that doesn't need him anymore. Waking from a coma into Ultra City's sissified dystopia, Butch finds
Jesus.
his role as a DEA detective erased. In this degenerate future, all drugs are legal and peddled like candy. All but one. A shadowy forbidden substance tied to his vanished wife is still run by the underworld. Now, with nothing but his fists and a taste for vengeance, Butch carves through a world that mocks his very existence. Battling malformed monstrosities, corporate zealots, and drug-fueled freaks to uncover who's responsible for his undoing, find his wife, and exact his revenge. Each book is 120 pages of raw cyberpunk mayhem, savage satire, and brutal action. Limited copies available now at Iconic Comics. Visit the link and secure yours before they're gone.
Yeah, so there you go. There's some surplus, extremely limited stock left for this. And yeah, this is my comic book, Butch Gilligan. I don't know if you guys have any questions. Let me know. But yeah, basically, it's like a cyberpunk, dystopian future type of story. And yeah, he's going to be the only cis white male left in this degenerate future, basically.
Brutal.
Sven. Were you
Yeah.
on the Dick Show?
I was.
Okay, God, I knew I fucking recognized. No, you have to talk about the fucking world. How you described the dystopian future I was fucking dying when I heard it the first time.
Yeah. I sent Dick some press copies, so maybe next time around I'll send you guys some too. But yeah, the world. So usually we're used to when Hollywood makes movies about dystopian futures, like think about like Sylvester Stallone's Demolition Man or something like that. There are always these very strict, like Republican futures where there's no swearing allowed, and it's this very rigid, rule-based, patriarchal thing, right? Now I went the opposite direction. This is going to be. It's going to show what the neoliberalism can lead to. So yeah, this future is completely degenerate. Yeah, all drugs are legal, so that ties in with our main character, who used to be a DEA detective, but when he wakes up from a coma in this degenerate future, he's been rendered completely useless, basically, as a man. It's like a commentary on masculinity versus femininity. But yeah, in this future, we have like they covered the entire Ultra City, this giant mega city, in a dome that's riddled with like 24/7 ads, and I came out with all these ridiculous products and stuff like that. And yeah, there's like self-replicating retarded robots that have like their own next iteration.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about. And then each time they replicate, they're more retarded.
or I should say clone. So it's like a retarded clone. You can see him up there a little bit above his thumb. That's one of those characters. Yeah, so yeah, they have their own. Their next iteration is growing in this incubator in their stomach, like a pregnant lady, basically.
Right.
And then it parasitizes the baby version, parasitizes the adult version. Yeah, and then the next iteration is slightly more retarded than the previous one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's dude. I was literally crying when you first described that. Like each time they're more retarded. I'm like, that's so fucking. That's just, oh god, it's so good.
You'll see. Yeah, there's a lot. This second book. So in the second book, he actually wakes up from the coma. And it's like this fish out of water type story. In the first scene, as he wakes up from the coma, he's like chained to the hospital bed, and he's like, "Get me the fuck out of this place!" And then this big AI thermometer comes from the bottom of his bed, and it tries to take his anal measurements.
Yeah,
it's this big drilling dildo.
Yeah.
Well, you have to read the book to see how he gets out of that.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah. So that's sort of the vibe we're going with.
Okay, yeah,
dude, your dystopia, like when you were first describing, I'm like, I mean, you're so right that every time a dystopia is, it's either cyberpunk or it's like super clean, hyper authoritarian. But like none of it does like what a real dystopia I would imagine is exactly where like just everything's just shitty and stupid. Like I'm thinking more like what's the movie called? Idiocracy is like probably the closest to reality, you know?
Yes. Now look, so we do have cyberpunk elements in this, but here's the thing, all the AI and robotics in the Butch Gilligan universe, like it barely functions, it doesn't work, and it always turns back against you. It's just a giant fucking crazy it's more like Alice in Wonderland in that sort of aspect. We can watch maybe that other video because that shows you the very first chapter of the book 1. And this really, it's like fully voice acted, so this sort of illustrates the tone and stuff of it.
Right, yeah, okay.
203, a robbery in progress. 304, someone's home being burglarized. 366, a violent crime's committed. 504, an alleyway rape. And yeah, it don't stop. Another 187, on an undercover cop. These codes ain't just numbers on a radio beam. They're cries for help.
Attention all District 7 units. We have a 969 at Ultra City, port 283.70. Responders needed on the scene ASAP.
Copy that. This is Scorpio Zero. We're on the case.
Ay, Dios mío! You made me spill everywhere.
These are troubled times, Pancho.
And you're driving way past the speed limit, FYI.
The city's changing at dizzying speeds. But I'm not gonna let it get away from me.
Great. Flash the lights and play the siren then. I have a family I would like to get home to.
Speeding's best done without blaring the siren. Motorists tend to freak out and make unsafe maneuvers when a shrieking alarm vehicle appears behind them. We must hurry. Here, blow on this real quick so I can activate the solid fuel nitrous oxide turbo booster.
That's the BAIID. The driver is required to blow on that.
I ain't putting my mouth on that. Besides, I took back a few road sodas while you're enjoying your little siesta there.
You've been drinking? Drinking while driving? That's conduct unbecoming an officer.
Says asleep on the job, guy.
You're nuts if you think I'm going to participate in your foolish nonsense.
Don't get all choked up about it.
IID successful. Boost off. nitrous oxide turbo boost now.
Strap in, Posh. I'm about to rattle your day.
So there you go. There's a little bit of that buddy cop stuff in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Looking
Yes.
good.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's Butch Gilligan. Yeah, we have limited physical copies available right now at Iconic Comics, and you can get the digital PDFs too for cheap, it's like $15 for both books. So, and yeah, I'm currently working on book 3. I'm like 50 pages in, I think, out of 120. So it's probably going to get launched around, I think, October-ish, probably something around that. Hopefully, if I can get it done.
Nice. Do you know who Vito is?
Yeah. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
I do. I was
Yeah,
supposed to have like a big debate with him. He also crowdfunded a book that's still not out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're gonna beat him on your third one before he gets out his first.
I mean, dude, he crowdfunded the book before I released my first book, Butch Gilligan 1. So yeah, I've successfully crowdfunded and delivered on 2 books in the time that he hasn't delivered his first one.
So, well, now you have to do 4 because I feel like 3 you're definitely gonna get to. So you're gonna have to try and get 4 before he gets out.
Oh,
one.
wait, we're gonna showcase America, man?
Well, probably not too much of it because of the certain racial content, maybe. But
I don't know who's behind this, by the way. It might be me, it might not be me.
you can talk about it a little bit.
yeah.
Just trust me, my audience would like this stuff, but I don't want to show. I don't want to show
like, who's
certain
that
stuff.
guy there? I wonder who. he
Yeah,
represents.
I recognize
but-
that nose. That's interesting. Anyway,
That's an animated version. That's the first animated version of America Man. It's like a short little 1-minute animation. I know. Can you show that or no?
let's just we'll play it safe. Yeah, I know it's satire, but that's not gonna help me. These are public
This
on
one
the
is
channel.
really bad, guys. Like this is like whereas Butch Gilligan is an artistic journey and a great comic and stuff like that. This is really hardcore shit, America Man.
Yeah, you could just.
I want to know why is a European living on Bali have America Man is making it like what about America has inspired you to make this character?
I mean, look, America Man is basically a personification of American culture, right?
I see.
So
I
he's,
see.
he's not exactly based. He loves Israel. That's our greatest ally.
They are.
They've
done so much for us.
Yeah, and he's like, I love homosexuals as long as they do what can I say about what people do in the privacy of their own home? Like that's his whole philosophy. You know what I'm saying? He's like a boomer con, neocon type of guy. So yeah, we're sort of like making fun of American culture and
yet
whoever's
another
behind this comic.
Yeah, yet another European making fun of American culture.
Yeah,
Never get enough of
every
that.
time. You can't help yourselves, can you?
Yeah, right. I mean, look, some of the best American satire or satirizing American culture was, but a fellow Dutch guy, Paul Verhoeven, he made RoboCop and he made Starship Troopers, which is probably some of the most fun American satire, wouldn't you say?
True. Yeah.
RoboCop, I'd agree with. Starship Troopers was kind of more of a love story triangle movie.
Yeah, it's meant to look like a propaganda movie from the 90s era. But yeah, it's also anti-fascist and stuff like that.
Well, killing the tomboy is bad propaganda.
tomboy is
I'm not
fucked
gonna want to join the military if they kill my tomboy wife. That's fucked.
Yeah. Okay.
They made Beth
I'm
Girl
just
lose. You
saying.
can't do that. That's fucked up. That's illegal.
Yeah, but that was a Dutch guy too, so you know, I think it's you have like a unique outsider's perspective.
I see.
Or something like that.
I mean, a lot of it's accurate, but it's just certain
You're hurting
circles
our
of
feelings.
the internet.
You know that?
Well, I'm just used to it.
Look, that's the thing. There were some people. I made like a little comic about Candace Owens, and then people like, "What? She's on our side. How dare you?" And it's like, "You fucking pussy." And it's like, you're making fun of her appearance. I'm like, have you ever heard of the term caricature? That's what a cartoon is supposed to be doing. So yeah, when I went on, or whoever made this, went on the journey of creating like a political satire cartoon, I was like, or whoever, you really need to lean into it. You need to lean into the political satire, right? So even when I was drawing like black caricatures, I was making them look sort of safe. I was like, no, I need to go all the way. And yeah, well, you guys can look up these American Man comics to find out what how far we go with this, but it's pretty far. Which I think that's what's interesting about it, because you're not gonna get like South Park. Even look, everybody would say, "Oh, South Park, that's great satire," but even they started to get cucked in later seasons. Like they were so pussy. Remember, like during like the first Trump administration, they were so scared to piss off either side, so it became this weird muddied message where Mr. Garrison, who's a trans teacher, becomes Trump. And it's like, what are you guys even trying to say here? Like, you're so scared of any backlash. Or like their biggest critique on the entirety of cancel culture was PC Principal, who's a white guy. It's like,
yeah, and he's like
and a masculine
like
white
Chad,
guy at that.
Like
he should be a soy
and,
boy. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah, they try to play it in this centrist way, but everything needs to be in the middle, and I think that's just kind of gay and cucked and pussy and bitch made.
Yeah.
So this one is very, very hardcore. Goes very far.
Yeah, I was kind of conflicted about this because like I wanted to show, because I know my audience would like this stuff. It's just that this, these streams are all public on the channel. So
well, it's just chat. Look up the cat one. I think that's the best one where he saves a cat from the tree. I like that one a lot.
There's a friendly Haitian man who wants his cat saved.
Yeah,
from a tree.
it's a good one.
Yeah. So if you want to check out America Man, you'll have to look it up yourself. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's a really bad one. I'm embarrassed about this. I wouldn't have my name attached to this.
Yeah.
Well, you don't. It's a good thing you don't. And I'm just showing this unrelated.
Someone made it.
Yeah, but we were getting throttled. Because here's the thing: we first started this off. Within a week, we got like 2,000 followers on the account. It went really crazy. And then at a certain point, the account got massively throttled. You can tell by all the analytics and stuff.
Yeah.
So because I'm looking at the banner. So yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this. So we put like a little beautiful little David star in there. And in the bio, we have like Israel loves America. I thought maybe that was would counter some of the throttling. But
dude, that's what they do now. They do soft shadow bans, and it's it's annoying.
Yeah, I know it sucks. It's just, you know what? Look, I loved the early 2000s, mid 2000s internet. You were allowed to have fun. It's people's identities they've been fractured anyways. You can see that in a lot of different aspects of our culture. The whole transsexual movement is a fractured identity type. And then the internet itself, people start to put way too much emphasis. It sort of like fused with our daily lives, right? To me, the internet is still a digital space, and whatever's on there shouldn't be taken that seriously. This is just a cartoon. We can just have some fun and some comedy, some good laughs. Okay, not everything is about canceling each other and death threats and stuff like that. I think there's some room for some jovial, old school fun,
Yeah, I'm with you, but people they can't handle it anymore. I mean, my channel's gone through a lot of fucking, dislike bombing my shit and people just shitting all over it. So I'm very familiar with this.
We're taking it back. Fuck him. We're taking it back. We'll never buckle. Fuck him. Yeah, we're gonna have the mirth and merriment, and we will take it all back. We'll take culture back. But we got to gatekeep all the feminists and the wokeists.
Yep. I'm trying to think. I probably should have prepared questions of some kind for you.
That's fine.
Well, there's only one that's important. Are you ready? Is everyone ready for the important question?
You got to ask every guest this.
Yep. All right. So, Sven, do you think a Fuda should have balls or no balls?
Wait, who should have balls?
Fudanari.
A Fudanari.
Udanari? What is that?
Okay, a dick girl. Okay, a hermaphrodite. They have both parts, right? Vagina and dick.
Oh, like a hermaphrodite? Like
yes.
They're both sexist?
Yeah, but Japanese.
Do they have balls?
Yes, they should have balls. Thank you. All right, you answered.
I don't understand. Like, look, if they are a freak of nature and they happen to be born like a sort of like a what is that called?
Okay,
An
wait, hold on.
alchemy?
Let me stop you. I gotta stop you. I'm sorry. This is not a hypothetical. It's just it's a genre of Japanese pornography where they like to draw
Oh.
women with huge penises, and they should also have
I see.
vaginas by the definition. But yes, they love
Oh.
hermaphrodites. You might say I'm famous for being enthusiastic about this as well. So
Really?
well,
You're into that type of stuff?
maybe.
That's
Possibly.
the
Wait, so
genuine
it's
really I've ever heard.
This is like a genre of hentai, basically.
Yes. Fudanari is a
Okay.
genre of hentai. Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is not like an actual natural phenomenon.
No,
All right, so
no,
now I
it
get
doesn't-
So you're saying in designing a Uganari
Yeah,
character,
if you were to draw a Fudanari, would you draw her with testicles?
first of all, I don't think I would draw anything.
Oh, come
like
on.
that,
Don't
'cause,
do this. Don't do this. Play into the hypothetical.
Technically,
Wait a minute, hold
if
on.
I was
Wait.
to draw a penis fused with a vagina, I probably would leave out the balls, honestly.
Oh,
Okay, so
damn,
would you
okay.
have the clitoris be the penis then, basically, is what you're saying? Because
Probably. Yeah. But wait, you know what? Then if you have like the labia, those could have like testicles in it, maybe.
okay,
You know
well
what I'm
that's
saying?
weird. All right, well, okay, hold on. Let me dial back. I'm giving you ideas for your comics. So in Butch Killigan, you could have a Fuda character, and
Uh-huh.
this is
no.
I mean, because that's the
I
New
know about
World
that.
Order. That's part of it. It's you could have a weird like brothel thing, right? Some super degenerate brothel, and have a Fudanari character. Just look it up. Futanari.
All right, I think
What?
we'll all do that in our own spare time. We'll look that up. We'll
Yeah,
enjoy some
anyway.
of the Fudanari.
I'm
But
giving you
look,
ideas. I'm throwing ideas
That's
at you.
losing it.
I'm
dude.
selling your
I'm
fucking yeah. I'm
I'm
selling
not
your
even really
comic to
opposed
Jet.
the idea of putting a character like that in the background because
No.
there's plenty of crazy stuff in Butch Gilligan. But
Yep.
That's
yeah, I
so
don't know about
funny that
that.
you didn't know that about me. That's hilarious. Because
funny.
I didn't
unfortunately,
know that.
listen, that's good. That's good. It's good you don't know that, but
right.
now you do.
Well,
wanna
now
look
you do
into
that, so that's cool.
I
got the
guess
answer,
do you have like a tab open at one time with some egregious stuff or something like
Yes.
that when you were doing it?
Well,
no,
there you go.
well,
it was
no,
self-admitted.
I was
unfortunately.
Yeah, I did this to myself. Listen, I'm a
yeah.
coomer. I'm not proud of it, but I am a coomer. I'm just saying.
All
Okay,
right.
so all right, we have a more normal question for you now. So wait a minute,
Yeah.
you said no balls? Are you our first no balls?
Yes.
Nice.
Damn,
Incredible.
that's
That
weird.
means I'm straight.
Whatever,
That
you
means
got to
I'm
start
straight.
looking
How that
at
works.
it.
You're right.
Listen, you do some personal research, and then you'll come back to me on
I'll
that.
see if I can pencil that in. I'm a very busy guy, but I'll get into that.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's the normal question?
Yeah, the normal question is: would you, Final Fantasy VII girls? Do you pick Tifa, Aerith, or Yuffie?
Look, first of all, I will have to admit I was never a big Final Fantasy guy.
That's
Good answer.
fine.
Good
That's
answer
fine.
already.
But look. I would have to go Tifa because she
Thank
has
God.
like,
There we
big,
go.
titties.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
everyone
That's a good
knows
answer.
the answer to this. Everyone except one guy who won't be named at the moment, but everyone else knows Tifa's the best choice. Everybody.
Sure, yeah. Look, I like these questions. Do we have maybe the chat can ask more?
Yeah. Okay,
questions
chat.
along
Do you
these
have any
lines?
questions for Sven? Something that
So
hopefully
far,
is
I'm I answered both questions correctly.
no.
Yep.
No.
No,
Absolutely
yes,
not.
yes.
Yes to balls.
No.
It looks weird without the balls. Anyway.
See, this is where the research comes in. If you have done your research.
This is fucked up.
Anyway.
Okay. I have a more normal that we always ask, which is just like just 3 favorite games, just top 3 games.
Top 3 games. Okay, number 1, point and click adventure, Full Throttle by Sierra Games or LucasArts Games. Full Throttle.
Really?
Nobody heard of this?
Okay.
Nope.
You guys don't know it? Pull
I
up the
think
trailer,
I've
Full
heard of
Throttle.
it. Hold on. Yeah, let me.
Don't play the remake because they painted over it with like shitty vector art, which sucks. But the original Full
I've
Throttle,
seen this before.
that rules. Honestly, play it. It's very short. I like a short, strong game that's heavy on the content. I don't need to be playing 80-hour-long fucking games anymore. I'm sick of it. I have things to do. Yeah, this. Yeah, check this out, dude. This is the shit. Look at this fucking shit. This is what I grew up with as a little kid.
How old are you?
1995. I can't tell you.
Okay, well,
No,
that's
I'm
fine.
I'm in my late 30s.
Okay.
Oh wow, the remaster did ruin it. I'm looking at the remaster right now. Yeah,
Remaster fucked it up. But this is a real. I recommend this if you're into like point and click story-based games. This is a really good story. Back when Tim Schafer wasn't being gay yet.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
yeah.
The soundtrack is awesome.
All right.
Cool.
Now, then, okay, if you like point-and-click adventures, of course, the Neverhood. Shout-outs to Doug Tenaple, who I've also had the pleasure of working with, one of my idols. So I was really happy to be able to work with him. He's the creator of Earthworm Jim as well. He made this claymation point-and-click adventure called Neverhood. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, I have, but because of Germa.
That one?
But yeah.
That's really good. But then look, top 3 games. It's difficult, but I would have to say Metal Gear Solid, the original one on PS1, I think would have to be in there. Maybe either Dark Souls 1 or Bloodborne. Either one of those probably would have to be in my top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I think I already exceeded my my top 3 there.
You've hit 4, but that's good.
Wait, what were they
You know what I'm
again? I
saying?
already fucking forgot.
No,
Full Throttle,
Yep.
Metal Gear Solid 1, Neverhood.
Yeah.
But I would say Earthworm Jim 1 and 2 as well. Those are awesome games. Bloodborne, Dark Souls.
That is interesting. I feel like Dark Souls doesn't really fit the rest of those, but yeah.
Do you think? I mean, look, here's the
I mean,
thing,
Dark
though.
Souls is awesome. I love Dark Souls. I'm not gonna complain, but it's just interesting.
Yeah, but when somebody asks you the question, what are your favorite games, right? You can ask them in 2 different ways because you can either approach that with which ones are the most fun, artistically sound, most memorable, just qualitative.
you just have to speak from the soul. That's what the question's about.
Yes,
there's
but
no
you can
right
also
answer.
But if you phrase the question like, imagine you're on a deserted island and you can only bring 3 games, you would get a different answer, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I would
yeah,
pick
yeah.
3 really long games. Like if
Yeah.
you're on a deserted island, you want stuff that can last you,
Yeah.
your life.
Well, or something with replayability. I would still bring
Yeah.
Dark Souls in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's some games that I really love that I probably wouldn't want to play too many more times.
Right? Yeah. So that's sort of what I was debating in my head. But I think you got a kind of a good gauge of where I'm at with my favorite games there.
Yeah.
Yep. Solid.
Let's see. Okay, I'm looking at chat for questions. Someone's asking if you've
Can't
played.
Going nuts.
They're asking if you've. Well, I'm only going to ask questions that I should.
Yeah.
Someone asks if you've played Harvester.
Oh yes, I did. That's also pointing. That one's completely unhinged and crazy. It
Yeah,
contains,
yeah.
Illuminati stuff. It's funny. That's a funny one.
Yeah, I
That's
watched
good.
someone play
I think they should bring that aesthetic back. The old what is that called again?
Oh, like when they have
scenes.
the real people. Oh yeah, pre-rendered. What's the term for that?
I forget the term.
FMV, is that it?
Yes,
FMVs. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. They need to bring that back. I think that would be cool. Like bit crushed audio.
There
like,
was a horror game.
Phantasmagoria. That's what you're thinking of.
Let's see.
I knew it before you were gonna ask the question. I had the answer ready for
Right.
you. It's called
If I could spell,
Phantasmagoria.
we would get to it. Oh, okay. I see.
Someone is asking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is older, though. Yeah.
That one sucks though. The gameplay sucks, but the aesthetic rules.
I think there's a recent horror game that did.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called, though, but I think there was someone who's like, oh, this style is cool, and made a recent horror game about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? Actually, I'm gonna take that back because now that you say that, I can imagine a bunch of like shitty indie games using that aesthetic, and it's gonna look like complete garbage.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It would be, look,
I
here's
think
where
it's
it
too
would
much
be cool.
effort. That's why there's only been one I can think of, because
I think what would be cool is if like NetherRealm Studios made the new Mortal Kombat in that style again. That would be based. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be
No more
kind of cool.
3D
Yeah, but then
model.
they couldn't make all of the women look like men.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they could
Oh,
just
yeah.
have men play the women.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, shit.
Someone asked, this is kind of, you can answer this however you'd like, I guess, but someone asked when you started to notice the JQ or,
Yeah. I know what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, when I did.
Yeah, when did you start to notice?
Oh, look, I've been. Here's the thing: a lot of these internet influencers, they go like, "Yeah, I was part of Occupy Wall Street, and then I was, and then I started to really understand, and then when I was 29, no, I've been based. Look, people don't believe. I don't even know if I could say this, but I literally, this is not a lie. I have proof of this. I have the receipts. I've talked about this in my streams. I did a show and tell in class when I was 8 years old on Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
When I was 8. That's
Nice.
how based I am.
Kobe has a
That's
similar
real.
story that he read in middle school. You read Adolf Hitler's biography.
It wasn't Mein Kampf, but I did read a similar Hitler book. It was literally a red book that was in the library, and I was just drawn to this thing, and I read, bro.
Yeah, that's how it works. They had such great graphic design and stuff. Because in the history books, you have like Egypt, all this boring stuff, and then all of a sudden you go a little bit forward in the book. It's like, oh, look at this guy.
Yeah,
That's a cool guy. That's sort of what it was like for me too. It's like, whoa, what is it? I want to know more about this guy. Fuck these mummies.
Yeah. This is a more lame question, but what made you decide to, be an artist or an animator?
I didn't decide. Again, I was born this way. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
No, that's actually true. I've been drawing ever since I was a little kid. I was always making little cartoons and drawing. So I'm basically, I dropped out of every single school. I have 0 diplomas or nothing. I'm good at nothing other than this.
Nice. You're the same as me, except I'm a YouTuber. There we go.
Yeah. Well, I do streams too. That's the thing. Nowadays, this is funny too, because with the advent of AI, all these studio drones, all these people that were working at the animation studios, they're panicking because they're about to get replaced by AI. All these storyboarding jobs and everything. You have all these animation blogs and stuff like that. Yeah, like the Disney recruiters and stuff. Even they are saying like, you guys need to stop trying to fight the machine. This is here to stay. And now the advice that all these people are getting that are getting fired from the studios are like, you need to become indie, get your friends together, start your own studio. Now, since I've been canceled many, many moons ago, I have a head start. I already started doing that. They keep fucking with my shit. They keep banning me. If I was allowed to have a natural growth, you know what I'm saying, without being throttled and having these speed bumps thrown in front of me, I would have probably be like 4 times as big as I am right now. Because again, can we post my channel so that people can go subscribe to my channel and watch my streams? Because like I said, they deleted my previous channel a couple of weeks ago. We do streams as well. Look, so we do some live drawing stuff. We do some gaming, and we have some based takes. You know, so, we had Donald Trump on. I had an interview with. I made a cartoon version of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I did an interview with him. So that's the type of shit you can get on Sven streams. I stream usually 7 p.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. So, but yeah, what was the question again? What made me start doing? As an artist, yes. Basically, that's it. You know, I just I love drawing. That's the only thing I'm good at. So
there you go. That's a pretty good answer, honestly.
AI can never replace you because it it's like built to be woke. So it can't.
Yes,
it literally can't.
Exactly. Look, so here's the thing. So because I'm edgy and not woke and cringe and gay, I started to get gigs that look. I did some. This hasn't been released yet, but I did some animation work for Sam Hyde, for instance.
Oh, nice.
Those types of guys get funneled towards me. Because everybody else is too afraid to touch that type of material. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck. I think you should be making that type of stuff. That's interesting. It's fun. And I think everything goes in the art realm, you know? People always get the things confused, especially nowadays because of all these woke activists. But there's a difference between the art realm and the political realm. There's a distinct difference. And in the art realm, anything goes. You should be able to draw anything, figure out all different ideas, just so that we don't necessarily have to try them out in the political realm. So it's actually very stupid to start censoring art, because then those types of energies might manifest in different ways.
Well, the bad word you said there was fun. It's always been having too much fun that gets you in trouble. Like,
True.
for all of time,
Yeah.
you know, whether right wing, left wing, or whatever, just having too much fun has always been a problem for people.
Yeah, they don't like you to have fun. You have to
Yeah.
be very serious. Everything is very serious. And it's not,
Nope.
you know.
Let's
Yep.
Is there any
see.
more questions?
Yeah,
I'll answer anything.
There's a bunch of questions. I'll ask you a stupid one. All right.
Yeah.
Those are our best ones.
Would you? Yeah. Okay. Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers?
What? Okay, that was
No,
just stupid.
hold on. He's been spamming it in chat. He might as well just fucking
That's really
answer.
dumb.
No. Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right. Fine.
How would you
skip
draw
it then.
with
We'll
toes
skip
for
it.
hands?
All right. Okay, we're skipping that one then. Sorry, clinically sometimes Sandy. Okay.
That sucks.
Hold on. I saw a couple other
That
ones.
sucks.
There was Jeb Reggie wants to know what you think about Harry Partridge.
Harry I like a Harry Partridge. He's one of the he's a UK based animator. He also just did a crowdfunded comic. I think he's pretty good. I don't know too much about him, but I hope he hasn't gone woke or anything. I don't think so. I think he hangs out with
No, I don't think
Chris
so.
O'Neill and those type of guys, right? Like
Yep.
Oni
Yep.
plays, Zach Hadel. I love all those guys.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
watch that
he's one of
stuff
those
too much
guys where-
anymore.
Like, he just looks like he's having fun a
Yep.
lot of the time.
Yeah, and he's really talented too.
Yep. Good shit.
Let's see. Someone wants to know what your favorite anime is.
Ooh.
Ooh, here we go. Like I mean, look, it's gonna probably be a cliche. Can I make the overlap between anime and manga? Can we do that?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Because it would be Berserk, obviously.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? At least that's my favorite manga, Berserk. But as far as anime goes specifically, I think one of the most genius and probably underrated directors was Satoshi Kon. He made Paprika and he made Tokyo Godfathers. I think that guy was an amazing director. He sadly passed away, I think, in 2010 of cancer, which sucks. But that guy was really awesome. I would recommend that.
Okay.
And then, and I think as far as anime series goes, Gurren Lagann, that one.
That's a
Tengen
good
Toppa
fucking
Gurren
answer.
Lagann.
Yeah, that's a good
one.
answer.
Yeah, that's like a Nietzschean story. It's so fucking epic. Balls to the wall action, crazy shit. Yeah, I love it. I love Studio Trigger in general. I think that's a really good studio. So yeah, Gurren Lagann probably. And look, here's another thing. I will say this. This is probably a cookie cutter thing, but nowadays, because me and my wife, we try watching fun stuff, but everything is gay and cringe and woke.
Yeah.
But we watched Demon Slayer, that anime, and people say, oh, it's just cookie cutter shonen stuff. It's very basic. I think as far as the medium goes, of like extreme dramatics, like guttural screams as you wield a sword, trying to cut somebody's head off, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Those are things that only anime can do. If you do that in live action, it looks silly.
Yeah.
And this anime does it really well. It's one of the most epic, crazy shit out there. I really love that one. Demon Slayer, if you want to watch something more contemporary.
We got to know what you think about DBZ then. What do you think about
Dragon Ball Z?
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously I really respect Akira Toriyama. I love that. I love the manga a lot. Dragon Ball Z, I used to watch that as a kid. I would ride my bicycle home very quickly to catch it in time. But well, in terms of Dragon Ball Z, the anime kind of butchered it with all the filler stuff and these episodes that were just way too long. But I think they've re-released like edits.
Yeah,
cut out all
Kai.
the bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys hate it or something? You guys are not into it?
No, I
No,
love DBZ. I'm famous for playing the worst Dragon Ball game ever made, arguably,
Yeah.
on stream.
Which one's that?
Dragon Ball
one
The
is that?
Breakers. It is a asymmetrical multiplayer game where one player plays as a Dragon Ball Z villain, and then 7 people are like the survivors. It's like Dead by Daylight, sort of.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen that. Yes.
Yeah, I've streamed that. Oh yeah, it's dog shit, but I've streamed it about 1,000 times. So
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm a DBZ autist kind of. I mean, I agree that the pacing was horrific in the original show, but you know, I love DBZ to death. You know, I'm just.
But then
those
Dragon Ball Super, that's just complete dog shit.
Oh, yeah.
The animation.
Yep.
So shit. Like that's just I would never ever sit down to watch anything like that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
I think the Broly movie was good though.
Yeah, it was. I didn't like that. You know, Broly wasn't evil anymore, but yeah, the movie was definitely entertaining.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of aesthetic, they really went back to the original look. They tried to make it look like cell shaded animation again, even though it's digital. I really like the aesthetic of that movie a lot.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
Let's see.
Do you
What
read
else?
books? We can do favorite book.
Favorite book. I mean, I'm currently reading. What am I reading right now? I was getting into Antichrist by Nietzsche. So I'm actually getting into Nietzsche a little bit. I was already into Nietzsche. I go back and forth between that, but I'm like, I don't read nonfiction when it comes to books.
Oh damn.
Or I don't read fiction, I should say. I only read nonfiction, is what I should
Right.
say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a big Carl Jung type of guy. I like Carl Jung. I like Friedrich Nietzsche. Did you guys know that in World War II, I think, whereas the Allied soldiers had a copy of the Bible, they had little pocket Bibles with them, the soldiers. Do you know that the German soldiers had copies of Thus Spoke Zarathustra by Nietzsche in their pockets
Really? No.
rather than a Bible?
I thought the Americans
There
had
you
the Talmud in their pocket.
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe the Schofield Bible. Have you heard that whole debacle? The Schofield Bible, where they re-edited the Bible, and that's the one that they put in every hotel room for free.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's interesting that you're reading philosophy. I have horrible ADHD, so reading is it's hard to focus. But I don't know.
Yeah, well, I live in a tropical island, so now here and there we go to lay next to a pool, and you gotta have something to do. But I will say this: most of the times when I'm animating or I'm working on my books or something like that, I'll just have like an audio book or something in the background. That's the way to go if you have ADHD.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to break your rule for fiction at some point, I would highly recommend Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, what Blade Runner's based on. It's better than the movies. I like the movies, but I think it's better than the movies. It's just based on the comic you're writing and the dystopia type stuff. It's real good.
Yes, it's Philip K. Dick, or who is that again?
Yep. Philip K. Dick, Android's Dream of Electric Sheep.
Yeah. So when I was look, Butch Gilligan, I've been writing this epic saga for, I think I started writing in like 2017, I think, and so it's gone through several iterations. So I was analyzing like certain types of fiction, like 80s action style movies and stuff like that, but also philosophy. So I did read a bunch of Philip K. Dick back then as well. What was my point here? Oh yeah, this is the point. So I remember initially writing it, I figured out like reality was catching up to my fiction. Like reality was getting more crazy and retarded than what I was writing.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you know what? I need to go farcical, crazy absurdists almost. And even then, because like I mentioned in the beginning, in Butch Gilligan, Ultra City is covered in this ad-ridden dome, like all these crazy, stupid products that blocks out the sun. And then last week, Britain or like the UK announced that they were gonna block out the sun because of the harmful UV rays.
Yep.
It's literally a plot point in Butch Gilligan,
Yeah, that was also a long-running conspiracy theory about chemtrails and shit, and I guess it's not a conspiracy anymore. They just admitted to it.
Oh, yeah, they confirmed that, yes.
Yeah.
And the reason I thought about that is because back in the day, I heard a rumor, or this might even be real, that Elon Musk, based Elon, quote-unquote, he said He wanted to sell ad space in space. He actually had an idea for that. Yeah, and Elon Musk Neuralink is also in the Butch Gilligan, of course.
Yeah, the thing, it's funny, when you were describing that shit, I didn't really get a chance, but a huge criticism I had of Cyberpunk 2077 when it came out is that it didn't go nearly far enough with the absurd, cyberpunk shit. I mean, it seemed only slightly, arguably not even more degenerate than the world we have right now,
Yes, and it's just such a shame, because if you do a world like that, you should go full Paul Verhoeven RoboCop, right? Like, that's the fun. That's what's so fun about that movie, the world building. And then I remember when that game came out, they had like one poster of a product that had like a tranny in it with like a penis or something like that. Yeah. And then some people got upset by that. It was like, no. In a game like this, you want all that stuff, and then make it a parody and satirize it, obviously, right? Not promote it necessarily, obviously. But yeah, you should have. It's because that's the thing. Part of the fun of Butch Gilligan, like I would hang with one of my buddies. Shout outs to JT, and we would just. Back then, I would smoke weed still. I don't smoke weed anymore, or have a few drinks, and we just start spitballing, and we came up with the most ridiculous nonsense. Now, I don't want to reveal all of that because you got to read the book, but there's some really, really funny shit that we came up with for these future products and all these things, and it ties into the narrative as well.
Yep.
Right.
It goes really crazy.
But I mean, good sci-fi really does predict the future. Like reading Philip K. Dick stuff, I relate more to his books than I were reading boomer shit, even though I don't know what my point was. Oh yeah, my point is, when you're talking about you're writing your comic and you're like, well, all this stuff's real, it's not even sci-fi anymore. And it's like, well, that's how you know you're doing it right, is that it should be a prediction of the future, not in every way, but in some ways.
Yes. Now I will say this: it's not like this is more or less a timeless story. I'm not using terms like woke or SJW or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
I'm analyzing the landscape in terms of deeper philosophy, and it is a story about masculinity versus maternal states and stuff like that. So it literally is. There's a deep philosophical undertone, but I'm not taking myself seriously at all, okay? So this is mega goofy, especially book 2, when he wakes up. Book 2 is about how silly this future has gotten. So he gets into a lot of wacky, crazy little scenarios there.
Yeah, well, there's a reason people call it Clown World, it is funny. As bad as things are, it is funny,
Yeah. So I'll say one thing that I made a prediction. You can see one of the guys here in the little poster that you have up all the way on the right, that fat guy there. So they have heart pumps in their chest, and they have big heart. Or well, actually, they have a heart pump on their back, the device, but it's connected to their heart because their hearts had to be replaced because of their sedentary lifestyle. These are the modern day citizens, but with an X, citizens. And basically, the way they live their lives is they live in their pod apartment containment units. And what they do is they play video games all day long, but there's the video games, instead of getting arbitrary. And I think this is actually going to happen, right? So imagine in GTA, when you rob a bank, instead of just having a meaningless, valueless little number at the top of your screen, you actually are mining a cryptocurrency that's attached to this game, right? So you're actually getting real world value, monetary value. It's going to be very little, but so basically you're when you rob the bank in GTA, you're actually getting a cryptocurrency. And then there's some NFT technology stuff that I think is going to happen too, rather than nowadays you have people complaining about microtransactions to unlock cosmetics in games and stuff like that. I actually think it's going to be NFTs where these things are actually going to be valuable. And I think it's actually there's cool aspects to this. But in the Butch Gilligan universe, you barely make enough money to keep the electricity on, and you get fed through feeding tubes and stuff. They have designer colostomy bags attached to their stomachs. And they're just sitting inside playing video games to make money to keep the electricity on. That's basically the standard citizen's life in the Butch Gilligan universe.
Sounds about right.
That means you get to be a standard citizen.
All the sub 5 males. Where are the Chads? Are there even any Chads in this universe? They all gone? It's only main character?
It's only Butch Gilligan. He's the only one.
How do they
Literally.
breed? How does the breeding work?
Well, there is. Do you have self-replicating retarded clones? Plus, they don't value human life anymore. It's seen when you die. They say you don't say, "Oh my God, I'm about to die." I'm about to be donated to science. And there's this product called Humanure. It's like manure and humans. So when you die, you get donated to science, and they feed the invertebrate fields with your human body.
Oh, that's great.
And then those invertebrates get made into the sludge that you get fed, the goy slob that you get fed through your tubes.
So is there like no replacement population? Like the retarded clones are the only like new people, or how does that work?
Yeah, well, yes. Look, there is a very deep plot when it comes to this. So look, I'll give a little hint. So one of the aspects of them blocking out the sun affected gestation. I actually researched gestation. Gestation is whether or not like how a fetus develops in the womb. And apparently that differs based on on outside effects. So if there's been like a big global or like a natural disaster, it actually affects the number of girls and boys being born. In reality, this is actually a thing that happens. So in the Butch Gilligan universe, there were only females being born. That's one thing. But there's a larger mystery going on here where all the children might be ending up. And that's something I can't get into that because that's like
yeah, you don't have to spoil stuff, but I just find it interesting. It sounds like it's, like a hyper Korea or Japan situation where the population is going to collapse because people aren't having kids anymore.
By the way, that's a psyop. That's a psyop.
Well,
Japan,
yeah.
No,
to
I
a point,
agree.
yeah.
I agree that it is a psyop. There's no reason we need to fit 300 million.
No,
people
if you look, what they do is they show you a graph, a zoomed in graph from the past 100 years, 80 years, and then it shows like a drop off. But if you zoom out that graph to like the last 300 years, it's been in a steady upward motion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just
there's no problem.
Yeah, it's I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but at the same time, like they do have statistics for like I believe it was 27% of Japanese women between 45 and 50 are single and don't have kids. That's pretty high.
So the problems that they're facing are being made by liberalism. And
that's true.
The cure for that is not more liberalism. It's not like open borders.
The cure is us. We need to move over there.
Yep.
Sure.
Breed all the Asian
I'm
women.
In Southeast Asia. I have a big titty Asian wife.
There you go.
Yep.
So you geomaxed. You're advertising geomaxing to the incels right now.
Yeah, that's funny. Sometimes you have guys like, "Oh my God, you betrayed the white race," but then they see my wife on Instagram and they go, "Oh, you know what? Kind of makes sense."
Yeah.
No, that betray don't cuck yourself, but don't let your own race cuck you. No, you live your best life. Save.
Look, and by the way, I'm not saying anybody needs to follow my example. I'm a weirdo artist type of guy. You know what I'm saying?
No, you should do that.
All right, sure.
Now people are gonna harass me about this for the future because already people are bringing that shit up. And
so you should do it.
Yeah, they're gonna want me.
What are they gonna harass you about?
But they're gonna want me to move to some Asian country and get a wife.
Yeah, come to Bali. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful island. It's covered in swastikas everywhere, by the way.
Okay, well, yeah, you are selling it to me. Okay.
I mean, that's a crazy thing that you'll notice. Like, whoa, okay, all right. Oh, another one. Holy shit! Oh, there's another one there. I went into a hotel room. The wallpaper is all swastikas. The fence outside is just made out of swastikas. It's just like, hey guys. But yeah, they love that symbol here still.
Yeah. Well, it's the other way though, right? It's flipped.
Well, I think that's it. Are we really going to get into the origins of the swastika?
Well, no, we don't have to. I'm just saying.
Symbol and such.
It's the collective subconscious of the Aryan race has depicted that symbol for a very long time. You can see runes even in the Celts and the Nordic tribes. They were using that. So when they say it's like the Sanskrit Indian symbol that Hitler used, no, it's an old Viking rune. Basically.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Here's the thing. That thing exists all over Earth. If you read like Madame Elena Blavatsky, she's the founder of the Theosophical Society. Like Carl Jung talks about this too, about the collective subconscious. So she studied all the different religions across the world. She traveled the world and kind of made like an amalgamation, like a monomyth. And yeah, basically that symbol has been prevalent in like many different cultures across the world.
Yep.
And yeah, the reason they want to get rid of it, a certain subset of our ruling class wants to get rid of that, is because probably it represents certain things that they don't agree with specifically.
It's people had too much fun. That's what we're saying.
Oh, yeah, it's always
fun. Look, it's a cool symbol, right? It's a pretty cool symbol. I used to draw it all the time in my textbooks, on toilet stall walls.
Okay.
Just having fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other questions you guys have. We might move into super chats because I assume there's gonna be questions in the super chats. You want to stick around for that, Sven?
Of course, I'll hang out with you guys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So super chats. Woogie, thanks to the $2, and it's like a red foam finger emoji. Butt Worlds Man, thanks to the $5. Found you a potential wife, a single mom, hear me out, who calls blacks the N-word to their face with zero guilt. Her contact info is public. Get her.
Yeah, she made a lot of money on that. I've said the N-word so many times, I've made zilch.
Yeah.
She made 200. You know what this is about, right?
No, I don't.
Oh, there was a viral video of a woman in a playground, and a black kid was stealing her child's toys or something, and she said the N-word, and then people in the playground started filming her, like, oh, we'll see what social media has to say about this, and they're trying to cancel her. But something odd has happened, because this time around, white people seem to be collectivizing, and they're donating to her GoFundMe, and I think she made $250,000 so far.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so she's not gonna take me. She's already got money. What does she need me for?
It was a good try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Corlo, thanks to the membership. Poir is sexy, thanks to the £2. Did you see Razor Fist responding to the allegations? No, all I saw was EGAD streaming the debate, I guess, between Smash JT and that I forgot the journalist guy's name or whatever the fuck. That was very cringe. Do you know who Smash JT is, Sven?
Me, I don't know who Smash J. I know who Razor Fist is. In my one of my streams, the last stream, I did a Muppet drawing of Razor Fist as a Muppet.
Yeah.
But look, but that's not my original. We have like this AI really quickly. We have this AI thing that I made. It's like a random generator. So he goes like, gay, Donald Trump, and then I have to draw gay Donald Trump. I have to draw whatever that thing says.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of fun. But Razor, are you a big fan of Razor Fist? Because I think that guy's mega gay, to be honest.
No, not really. I mean, I used to watch him back in the day, but no, I don't. I'm not a huge fan.
I'm not a fan of that guy. I think it's very performative. There's one video when October 7th happened. He was like, "Oh, I'm Razor Fist, God, fucking speed," doing his whole Motorhead tough guy leather jacket thing.
Right.
And then at the end, after the credits, he's like, "But seriously, for a moment," and he takes off his sunglasses that he always wears indoors.
Yeah.
And then he has like mascara on, like he does. Like, he does like, and he started crying because of October 7th. Anyways, yeah, I thought that guy was kind of gay. I do think he's innocent, though. He probably never groomed anybody. I think those guys just lied about him, right?
Yeah, I honestly have not really been keeping up with this drama shit, to be honest. Like, all I know is, like, this Smash JT guy is, he's another centrist grifter type dude who doesn't really know what he's talking about. He may or may not be of God's chosen people. He looks like it. Yeah, he certainly looks and acts like it. He got very offended that Del Araz, is that what his fucking name is? Some journalist guy who's calling him anti-Semitic, and it's like, interesting. Why are you bringing that up? What does that have to do with what's going on right now?
Yeah. Not followed that either, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe I'll look it up later, or chat will just tell me. All right, Lonesome Mesa, thanks to the $20. Red Bar is watching LMFAO.
Yeah, that's an old podcast that I used to co-host with. I think from like 2012 to 2018, I was like regularly on that podcast. And today or the other day, I'm no longer involved with that show. But that's just a thing that the fans of that show, they post that. Red Bar is watching. It's like a cute little thing they do.
Okay.
But the other day, yesterday, I was really shocked and excited to see this. Kanye West of that new song. Remember, I can't say the lyrics on this.
Yeah.
He retweeted Red Bar. He retweeted Mike doing a cover song. So the top tweet by Kanye West right now is Red Bar, which was crazy to see.
Yeah, that is weird. In Slayer Cologne, thanks to the £2. Synthetic Man going to make bank with GTA 6. Oh yeah, if it's like super woke or something, yeah, I'm sure that'll be my next like million view video. If it is,
it's gonna be. Did you play Assassin's Creed Shadows? Did you live stream that at all or no?
Yeah, I did review it. It was kind of, I mean, it was kind of more by the numbers review, but yes, I did make fun of multiple aspects of it. Like I said in Discord, I wish they had leaned into like the genocide shit because that's funny.
Yes. So I promised people, I said, you guys don't have to buy it. I will play this game. I'll play through Assassin's Creed to show all the woke stuff. And yeah, I was excited about walking around like George Floyd, genociding every single village because they promised you could kill every single Japanese person in sight. But yeah, they patched that shit out right before the game came out. I was hoping a modding website would patch it back in.
Well, usually how Ubisoft games work is that you're only allowed to kill civilians in like a certain time period. Like in older Assassin's Creeds, you could kill 2 like every minute or something. But as soon as you killed a third person, then you game over. But specifically in Shadows, if you kill anyone and they give them a fuck ton of health, you probably noticed. If you kill anybody, then it's game over. You can't even kill one. It sucks.
Yeah. But I think when the game was coming out, so this is where our side of the guys, the based guys, need to sometimes shut the fuck up. Because I think when the game was gearing up to launch, they showcased gameplay and they didn't include that desync stuff where you get punished for murdering NPC. And then the right-wing guys were like, oh my God, this is crazy and disrespectful to the Japanese. I was like, shut the fuck up. I want this to be in there. You know what I'm saying? They last minute patched that shit out, sadly.
Sven, do you know about Yu-Gi-Oh?
I know about it, but I've never played the card game or anything.
Well, it's the worst thing ever created by man. So me and Kobe have a profound hatred for the Japanese because of that game. So I love the new Assassin's Creed. It's everything I could ever want.
Okay, well, to give context to what he's saying, these shitty ass card games, they basically want to cater to the pay piggies, right? But here's the thing, like you can't like blatantly make the card game pay to win. In fact, like Master Duel is one of the most generous like gacha style games I've ever played. But the way that they make it pay to win is that they just make the odds go in the favor of the person who spends the most money on microtransactions. Now, of course, you can't prove it. I mean, you could probably, but no one's ever gone to the effort of gathering that much data. But the Japanese, by far, spend way more money on the game than any other region, which was shown with the Pokemon card game, mobile game that just came out last year. So yes, that's what Devin means when he's saying we hate the Japanese. It's just we fucking hate these pay piggies.
All you need to know is they cheat.
These cheating pay piggy motherfuckers.
Yeah, I've never been into any of these types of card game type of things. I've never been into that. I don't even know how they work or how it functions or what the design behind these things is. I have no clue about that.
You know what cock and ball torture is? It's kind of like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
I know about that. Heard about that. Now, should there be balls involved in cock and ball torture?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess if it's one of your fudas, it won't because the ball's on the inside.
Just cock and pussy torture?
Yeah. There you go. All right. OFN, thanks to the 2 Canadian. Based. That's probably something you said. I don't know.
Based.
Corlo, thanks for $5. Hate speech is free speech. True.
Yep.
True.
Mega Rock and Rolla, thanks for $5. We need some love speech about white-pilled Tyrones to reverse the strike. Oh, yeah, about my strike. Yeah. Ghost Man, thanks to the $5. For single men over 30, a good place to go is Bucharest, Romania. There are a lot of beautiful women and sightseeing, also very affordable. Okay. I doubt that somehow, but... Mega Rock and Rolla, thanks to the $5. Rockstar delayed GTA 6 because they didn't want their Game Awards Game of the Year award to go to Expedition 33. Okay, let's be real though. If GTA 6 came out this year, it would be a shoo-in for Game of the Year almost no matter what, because it's rigged. You know.
I think it's funny because in gaming Discord, you see a lot of people. And I think it's sort of a little trap, guys. They lend a lot of credence to who's going to win the next award. Oh my God. It's like, who gives a fuck? The Game Awards, it's the same as the Oscars, just a self-congratulatory fake thing where these people are just, it's just a big promo for the industry. You know what I'm saying? And everybody buys into it as if it's some legitimate thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, you want it to go bad because it's more funny.
Yeah.
Like you want them to
get wins anything in that shit. Who gives a fuck? It's not actually democratically chosen or anything. It's like money interest. I like when that Matan guy walked on stage during what was it, 2 years ago? I think. Remember that guy?
Which guy?
The fucking Bill Clinton rabbi guy.
Oh yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was the best part of the entire Game Awards.
Yep.
Nimpo,
thanks €5. Can you ask Sven if he's played Sven Baumwallen? I don't know.
Baumwallen?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is either.
Yeah, I have no idea. Poir is sexy, thanks for £5. It's probably a good idea to private all your past streams and private your recent streams a day later so people can archive and re-upload. Yeah, I need to probably private all the streams because of this recent strike thing.
I don't think that does anything. They'll still... The algorithm doesn't give a fuck whether or not something's privated or not.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you because if it was AI detection, then what would it matter if it's privated? But maybe just to be safe, I guess.
Sure.
Brain Sustic, thanks to the €2. Demon Souls remake is pure soulless treatment. Awful. Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Philippe 2K.
Have you sorry to interrupt you, but have you played Spyro 1?
Spyro the Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I played that on a demo disc.
Have you?
It came out.
I was just saying, like Spyro 1 had the same thing happen as Demon Souls did, where the remake they just took the art style, which is super unique, and made it completely generic and ruined it.
Yes. Yeah. They did. I think they did the same with like Crash Bandicoot as well, right? Didn't they do that as well?
Yeah, not quite as bad with Crash, but yes, it was also they kind of ruined certain aspects of it.
Yeah, but I don't think like Spyro the Dragon had like deep, like cultural, deep lore hidden in its textures. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, in like in Demon Souls, the bonfires in that game, they have like a little Baku, or is it Baku or Yaku? It's like a skull of like a Japanese yokai creature that has like certain that eats your dreams. So just the fact that little skull of that creature is there gives it a whole different kind of context that you can read into and you can connect the dots. And then the Western team that had to remake that ass, it was like, what is this stupid little thing? And they just made it into like a human skull that looks badass or whatever.
Yeah.
And so in that way, in subtle way, just changing a little texture. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't know what the original intent was, you're just going to strip away shit. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, well, the point is to get normies to like it, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, plus they didn't have like any launch titles for PS5 anyway. The only other thing was Ratchet and Clank.
I was dumb enough to buy one, so
yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you've learned your lesson.
I did. I'm not buying the console anymore. I bought a Steam Deck for if you want to play shit on the TV.
Yep.
Yep.
Philippe 2K5, thanks to 5 Brazilian. Ironic that Nintendo's best game was developed by Sega, F-Zero GX. I mean, I certainly wouldn't say F-Zero GX is Nintendo's best game, but I am probably going to... I mean, we'll get to it eventually when we play it for our, greatest games of all time thing that we are supposed to be doing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Falcon Punch, thanks to the 10 months of membership, and it was 2 Abby emotes, Abby from The Last of Us. Philippe 2K5, thanks to the 10 Brazilian. The new Fatal Fury looks good. This is my Kirby Air Ride. Waiting 25 years since I played Mark of the Wolves on Dreamcast.
Yeah, but they fucked it up. They put a like rapper in there, or is it a DJ? They put a DJ in there.
Yeah, is it a soccer player? Is it like Ronaldo or
Messi.
something?
They put Messi in.
Yeah. And a DJ.
And a DJ.
They're really trying to play to their favela audience there.
Yep, yeah. They want Brazil to buy the game. That's who it's for.
Well, yeah, it was a Brazilian guy who said that, so.
Oh, okay. There you go. Oh, never mind. You'll love it then.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're figuring it out.
OFN, thanks to the 14 Canadian and 88 cents. 2 lightning bolts. I wonder what those lightning bolts mean. Anyway, Buttworld's man, thanks to
Stoffels is what that means.
Yes, yeah, it's you. Yeah, what? That is an interesting coincidence. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, cool.
Buttworld's man, thanks to the $5. Das right, finish all drama. Finish that drama inside your. Oh God, here we fucking go. Inside your new wife, Kirsha, who you love and cherish deeply. Congrats to you and enjoy your honeymoon, heart. We'll address that later. Usu Kusu, thanks to the 20 DKK, asks Sven what is his favorite Fuda animator Skibbity. He didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, what is that?
The Skibbity really brought that together.
No, Fuda is just the shorthand for Fudanari, what we were talking about earlier with the hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
So I can't answer that. I'll have to do my research first.
Yeah.
I'll let you know next time. Come on, I'll elaborate.
Oh, shit.
Augustus Friend, thanks to the membership. Reigning Terror, thanks to the $20. Synthetic Goy, congratulations, you were right for using your eyes. Thanks for playing that slop so I don't have to, and the worst part about it is they shoved the woke stuff in the back of the game. He's talking about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Yep. AOX Dog, thanks to 50 DKK. Magic Mirror on the Wall, who's the chuddiest one of all? Anyway, opinion on Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. Almost done with it myself, falls a bit off after Act 1. I'm only 6 hours in, man. I really haven't been playing that many games this week. I'll talk about it. I'll probably give my thoughts briefly in my next Last of Us TV show review. It's probably what I'm going to do. Frayne Sus... Yeah, I mean, I hope next episode does the synagogue thing, but who knows?
That's going to be so funny. I'm stoked about that. Okay.
Yeah. Brain Sustic, thanks to the €5. Saint Simon of Trent, pray for us. Let the reader understand. Look him up if you don't. Okay, I don't know. Ranger Boo, thanks to the $10. My boomer parents love The Last of Us show and believe Neil is a genius. They also love the Fallout show. Both shows are a celebration of everything heinous and evil about the boomers. Yeah, well, I definitely hated the Fallout show, as you know. Dion Ponde, thanks to €250. Been playing the Resistance games. 3 is the best. I'm glad you agree. I also agree with you. 3 is the best one. Wabungus, thanks to $5. Farming Sim has more players than Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Get mogged by an asset flip. Yeah.
People love farming sims, though.
Yep.
They can never compete.
Yep. McLovin, thanks $5. Nobody with a brain played the marathon beta. LMAO, only 6,000 tards last time I checked. That sounds about right, honestly. I mean, it just looked like another Concord, so of course it's failing. Augustus Friend, thanks to the 2 months membership. I heard the chosen people be burning and she das crazy. Who knows? Reigning Terror.
Well, according to them, it's the Lord and Savior that's burning.
Right. Yeah.
According to them.
Reigning Terror, thanks to the $2. I liked Borderlands 2, and that was the only good one. Some people in chat say 1 is the only good one, but either way, I don't like those types of games.
Oh, I think he's talking about how Israel is on fire right now. There's like huge sandstorms happening and shit. It does seem like a biblical thing there.
Yeah, well,
you guys seen that?
No, actually, no. I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah, right now, the entirety of Israel is on fire, and then on top of that, there's a sandstorm, and this was like, they were gearing up for an all-out war with Iran. It honestly does seem like some godly intervention there, but...
Yeah.
God's going to make it 110.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure of it.
Micro Rotondo is a toucan, thanks to the €5. Borderlands has outstayed its welcome after Borderlands 2. The rest is slop, and I will never forgive Randy Pitchford for Aliens Colonial Marines. Yeah, that is an interesting story. Do you know about that, Sven?
About Aliens Colonial? No, I have not heard about that one.
That was the horrific, terrible Aliens third-person shooter game that was like one of the worst games ever made. You know, you'll usually see on lists like that. And the reason why is because Randy Pitchford took funding away from that project to give it to Borderlands 2. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't heard about that one.
Wild Dog Gamer Boy, thanks to the $5. $5 for making people like Hypnotic and the rest of the Kingdom Come 2 is a woke crowd look stupid. Turns out Hypnotic didn't even finish the damn game. Many such cases. I've noticed almost everyone who says it's not woke didn't play past the first half of the game.
Yeah, you're basically the only legitimate games journalist out there at this point.
Yeah. Well,
I mean that. I mean it.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it.
I feel like journalist is an insult now. Is the problem?
Yeah, that's true too.
Einbrecht, thanks to the 5 Canadian. 2 of my favorite shit heels in one place. Let's fucking go. We'll watch the replay. Have a great stream. Thanks. Black Metal Gamer, thanks $2. Top 5 games that hid propaganda well back then. Bioshock's definitely in that top 5.
Bioshock's the biggest one.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
That
second one sucked. That was just so like again even when they want to do propaganda, they're too pussy-footed and too bitch-made to actually go all the way. Remember that? Like, even in Assassin's Creed Shadows, when you climb a Torii gate now, because they got that backlash, you get like a little pop-up that never happens anywhere else in the game. It says, actually, this is a historical site, and in real life, you shouldn't be climbing these things. There's some stupid
I heard about
like
that.
A sensitivity warning.
Yeah, that's as you're murdering Japanese people as a giant black man.
Yeah.
It's a video game. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, so they're so pussy. So even their propaganda is like just cookie cutter, watered down nonsense. And yeah, in the BioShock 2 one, remember it was supposed to be about slavery and colonialism and these horrible white people. But then they didn't use the N-word. They were too afraid of that.
Oh, you're thinking of BioShock Infinite. There was a BioShock 2 that's not that.
Oh yeah,
but...
3. BioShock 3 then. Or
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
one.
confused. I'm like, damn, BioShock 2 at slavery?
No, 3. Yeah, Infinite is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
one with like Colombia and stuff like that.
Yep.
And in the beginning, you had like a slave auction, but they put some Irish people on there, and you had to throw an apple or something. It was just this super weak propaganda. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going to be propagandized against, at least go all the way with your shit.
Well, they gave it up immediately. Immediately after that, it's like, okay, standard action game with no, meaning in it.
Well,
whatsoever.
yeah, they turned into a race war like halfway in, where like a black woman is like the leader of a resistance. It was very ahead of its time because that's back in like 2012, 2011 or something. So they're doing that woke shit like way before almost everyone else. But then at the end of the game, it's fucking pointless because it turns into stupid multiverse bullshit that breaks its own rules. Yeah. It's just a badly written game.
Wasn't the multiverse in that game started by two gay twins or something like that? Or am I getting
weren't they the same person?
Well, yeah, they're technically two. Yeah, they're the same person from different universe. Yeah, one was a woman, one was a dude. Yeah.
Did they have? Was it the Uru Dukuchi?
What'd you say?
With a cock and a pussy. What was it? The guy?
Oh, Fudanari.
Fudanari. See, you have a lot to learn still.
Yes, you do.
You really got to do that research.
I'll get into it.
Oh shit.
Okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna think of 5 games that had propaganda. Well, I'm sure chat gave good answers. Jerky Sasquatch, thanks to the $10, saying the N-word gets you 400K. Israel is on fire, and a Turk and a Jew are flinging shit over useless dirt. Feels good to be white. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Jeb Reggie, thanks $2. 80s Arch. We have to claim All in the Family. Oh, okay. So what he's saying is there's a guy called Arch Warhammer. I don't know if you've heard of him.
No.
But I don't need to explain. He's one of Sargon's buddies. That's basically all you need to know.
Sargon of Akkad.
Yes. And He said something where we need to claim Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 as a based game, and I'm not going to get into this, but that's retarded. I've talked about how retarded that is before. And so that...
Yeah, the whole Sargon crew is also just very cookie cutter. Their whole thing is constantly pointing out, look at the hypocrisy. What if a white man did this instead of a black man? Look at the hypocrisy. That's all they do all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking, it's like just lightning raw. It sucks. These guys fucking suck.
Yep.
It's fine. I've said it forever that no one has ever cared about hypocrisy. No one cares. No one cares. Everyone's ever glad no one cares. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're getting stomped by a boot, like the Iron Fist is coming down, and you're, oh, look at this, he's stomping me, the hypocrisy. What if we would do this to them?
Well, okay, so I do feel like I have to say this, and chat is reminding me that Sargon has a podcast called Lotus Eaters, and there is a guy on there who watches me, believe it or not, so he's secretly based. And
he's cool. That one guy is cool.
He's probably going to be a guest on here in the future. Yep. Okay, so...
maybe he can relay that piece of critique to Sargon.
Yeah, well, you know, even Sargon is more right-wing these days. Like, he's been posting on his channel again, and you wouldn't believe, like, if you compare him now to back then, I mean, he's not like us, but he's like halfway there, you know what I mean?
All right, well, he needs to hurry the fuck up.
I don't think he's ever
one
gonna...
stabbing away. He's one stabbing away.
Yeah,
he's
like...
pointed out enough hypocrisies. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, if he got shanked, he probably would then suddenly be based, I think. But that's about it.
Soon. It happens all the time.
All right, McLovin, thanks to the $10. Synth, you watched EGAD streaming John Del Araz talking about Smash JT, right? I watched about 10 minutes, that was it. Smash JT got completely destroyed and exposed for being a grifter, not a surprise. Can you talk about that here? I mean, again, I only watched 10 minutes, but yeah, him talking about like anti-Semitism and talking about pornography being fine. I mean, yeah, that's obviously horrific. So, and I say this as a coomer, you know, it's not a good thing. It's so
yeah. As someone who just talked about food for 30 minutes. But...
yeah, well, you know,
yeah,
I'm not going to talk about it in detail because you know I don't know enough myself. I'll just say that. Michael Rotondo is a toucan. Thanks to €5. It's 80 people with outsourcing, and they magically have a Hollywood movie deal out of the box. This is pretty sus. It is. He's talking about Expedition 33. Like, it does make no sense that there's a movie deal going on, but in any case, you know, listen, I can acknowledge the game's quality. It's not like the best thing ever or anything, but you know, I'll keep playing it and give my thoughts.
I think this is going to be one of those games within a few weeks is going to be completely forgotten.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, that's every game now. Like literally everything is, you know, it's the greatest thing ever, and then 2 weeks later, no one's talking about it.
That's a definition of slop, of goy slop, right? You guys need to keep consuming and then get excited about the next thing to consume.
Yep.
But there's no real artistic things being made anymore, except for, of course, Butch Gilligan, which you can go right now.
Buttworld's man, thanks to $5. The reason Archie Bunker is dumb is because being based took up 95% of his brain. He may not know basic math, but he doesn't need the early life section. Okay. Inslayer Clone, thanks to £2. Medal of Honor Underground is a woke game from PS1. I'll take your word for it. Autist Given Sentience, that's a great name. Thanks to the $5. Hi, as a person who's never had a girlfriend, I have relationship advice. Get a dick-sucking hobby woman, love gay men. What?
What a great tip.
I don't know.
I'll get on that.
Maybe he's making fun of people in my doomer hours who are trying to give me life advice. I'm not sure.
That's funny.
Mega Rock and Rolla, thanks to the $2. Does he face off against Fent-fueled George Droid? I'm guessing your comic is what he's referring to.
Well, you know,
you should
don't really do the pop culture references, but
well, maybe you could have something like George Droid. It doesn't have to be 1-to-1.
That would be funny to have George Droid. I love George Floyd. I've done a George Floyd animation as well. Have you seen that one?
No, actually, I haven't. Maybe I'll check it out later.
Yeah. Check it out later.
Jerky Sasquatch, thanks to the 10 gifted memberships. Buttworld's man, thanks to the $2. Wow, he's like Eric July, but actually good. That's spicy.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, that's what I want to ask about. Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
What's your opinion of Eric July?
Hell yeah! I mean, so when my book came out, Kiwi Farms Josh, he did for some reason he did a comparison between the Eric July ISOM book and Butch Gilligan as a compare and contrast. He was like, "Look how awesome this book is, Butch Gilligan. Look how shit ISOM Eric July's book is." And I had not known about any of this Eric July stuff, so I just kind of had to find out what this was about, and I did a little review about it. And yeah, I sort of like theorized that this was all about tokenism because, of course, like right-wing people or well, conservatives, they have to think through like a black consensus filter because they're so afraid of being called a racist.
Yep.
So they get a black friend that's also against cancel culture, and now they get to have like quote unquote racist opinions. And yeah, I got some backlash. People didn't like that. But nowadays, I'm also working with Ethan Van Sciver, the guy that's behind Comics Gate. I'm working with him. He's also not a big fan, to say the least, of Eric July. But to be honest, I don't care much. It's just, I think the days of these YouTube grifters that think that they can just quickly make a comic book, they're over. People are starting to see through this. Because, yeah, they're all failing. None of these books are coming out. They don't know how to make a book. They don't know how to crowdfund. They end up spending all the money. And by the way, when I do a crowdfunding, my book is already done. You know, so I first put in the work. I make my fucking book in silent suffering. And then when the book is done, I'll go, hey, guys, here's a crowdfund. If you would like to pre-order the book, you're going to get it. I've proven that people will get their books because twice it's been delivered on time and people love it. So... yeah, I think people are starting to see through these YouTube guys. I think that era is over. Because yeah,
I hope so.
Sucks. I hope so too. Maybe I'm just it's wishful thinking, but
well, yeah, I have a personal investment in them failing because they hate my guts. So they don't want to. They don't want to acknowledge me for sure, but they don't like me. We'll put it at that. I'm the fucking most anti-woke motherfucker, and they won't speak to me. So that should tell you something.
Yeah.
It is sad though. Eric July won't stream anymore. He has so many good quotes. Like trucks me, pull up.
yeah. I can't stand that shit, dude.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
OFN, thanks to the 10 gifted memberships. Wotan, thanks to the $2. Is there a retard version of Roy Batty? Oh, from Blade Runner. In your comic is what he's asking.
Oh, wait, who's Roy Batty again in Blade Runner? Forget.
He's
the villain.
The villain, the replicant.
Oh, Rutger Hauer.
Yes.
Is there a retard version of
retard?
That? There's a lot of retards in this book, believe it or not. I like retard. Like I remember, I sent it to. I had a guy go over one of my early scripts for book 2, and he said, "There's a lot of butt stuff in this."
Yeah.
I was like. I'm like, yeah, I like that. There's a lot of like near anal rape. Look, I'm not.
This is why you should have Fuda. You should have Fuda in for that reason. This is what I'm talking about.
I told you, I'm not even opposed to that.
There you
go. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens in this book, guys. I have a tranny breastfeeding a midget.
Oh God, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Look, there in this book and Butch Gilligan 2, there is a Chinese human mosquito hybrid freaks that kind of flutter around the sky that is infecting the city.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? There's a lot. But you got to read the book because otherwise I'm going to spoil the joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Imagine somebody writes a symphony and you ask him, "Can you just whistle it for me real quick?" Kind of takes away from the experience.
Yeah, I got you. You've sold me, all right? You've sold me.
Okay, good. Perfect. That's all I need.
Okay. Retardicus 2, thanks 5 Brazilian. Sven, have you heard of the game The Great Rebellion? Very similar vibe to your comic. If you ever feel like making a game out of it, they might help.
All right, so this is really good. The Great Rebellion. I love those guys. I've been talking to them, and spoiler alert, Butch Gilligan might actually be making an appearance in The Great Rebellion. I recommend everybody go get The Great Rebellion. They're really based. They got banned in Germany, I believe, for being too based. So support those guys. Great Rebellion. And I'm doing some. I might be doing the cover art even. So that's really crazy that somebody mention this because I might be doing some cover art for them as well. So
Yeah, I streamed the game a bit over a year ago one time. Yeah, so that's probably why they brought it up.
Oh yeah. These guys are really good. Those are really good developers. They're working on a bunch of projects. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking them out.
Bar is sexy, thanks to the 2 pounds. Sven, what's your relationship with Timothy Lim like?
Yeah, Timothy Lim, he's the guy, he does Common America. We are both getting published by Iconic Comics. They're really popping off in Japan right now. As much as you guys hate the Japanese, Timothy Lim, Common America is doing really well in Japan right now. And yeah, I like those guys. Look, everybody in the comic sphere, they hate one another. They're fighting with one another. So when I entered the comic sphere, I was like, all right. I just kind of I'm my own little island, you know? I'm interested in making comics and art, all this drama and shit slinging between people. I don't really give a fuck about that. We're all adults here. But yeah, Timothy Lim and Iconic Comics, they flew me out to Texas last year. I did the Comic-Con there. Yeah, I love those guys. But I also like Ethan Van Sciver, and those guys are apparently mortal enemies. I don't know, some internet drama from 10 years ago. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I really don't care.
Irish Major Tom, thanks to the 2 Canadian. Fun fact, the tomboy is a dude in the book. Which tomboy?
In what book?
This was back
What are
in
you talking about?
8 p.m. I don't know. Maybe he'll clarify.
Blade Runner?
Wait,
Or a tomboy in Blade Runner?
I don't remember, actually.
Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about.
the Tomboys. Oh, the Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah, right. Dizzy is a dude in the book. Okay, I got it. Nerlick Nick, thanks to the 6 months of membership. You exposed Sven to the dark arts. Yeah, Fuda. Yeah, I got it. OFN, thanks to the 2 Canadian. Balls is based. Yeah, true. I can't believe you would go no balls. Anyway.
I don't know about that.
The Commodity Man, thanks to the 2 euros.
Disavow balls.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't even fucking care, I'll be honest.
Of course.
The Commodity Man, thanks to the 2 euros. Given the F question, Big Mike or Bridget, then Eggplant XD. All right. All right, Big Mike, I guess is Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
But
Who's Bridget?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Oh no, Bridget is the fighting game character.
Oh, the Guilty Gear character, fucking
yes.
yeah. That's a femboy, not a fucking.
Yeah, really? I thought they're saying Bridget Macron, like president of France, like.
Oh, they say that
she's also
she's a dude.
You guys haven't heard of this whole thing?
No.
Honestly, no.
Okay, so really quickly, the conspiracy theory is that the president of France's wife is a man, was born as a man, which was a shocker. Then apparently there's a lot of evidence for this. But then on top of that, it's also his dad.
What?
President Macron is married to a trans version of his own father. Apparently.
I see. That's the conspiracy.
That's quite the wow. Oh wow, she's way older than he is, dude. Maybe they're right.
Right? That's a rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's
all right.
That's funny.
That's interesting.
No, it's not his dad. People say that makes it way more fun if that's true.
Yes. Dude, there's so many question marks. Like people like.
All right. Well, maybe I'll look into that conspiracy later. Okay.
Yes.
Ricardo Cumsocks, thanks to $5. Sven, have you ever thought about putting a gay-based pair character in one of your fancy cartoon books? Okay, I'll try to explain. So
it's a horrible meme.
YouTube has these like super emojis. You know, it's just like emojis for super chats. And this guy Ricardo Cumsocks loves to spam one of a pair that's very flamboyant. So
okay,
there you go.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. AOX AOX dog, thanks to the 10 months membership. Yuffie is best girl, Giga Chad. No.
No.
M Key, thanks to the 2 months membership. Fuda's for straight men. Also, I hate Nintendo. Okay. that's a good one.
I like to imagine those are related. Oh shit.
Reigning Terror, thanks to the $5. Sven, I bought the 2 books. Also, based answer for no balls, but unfortunately, you didn't pick Yuffie. Okay.
I don't know who Yuffie even is, but thank you for buying the books.
Yuffie's a 16-year-old girl. She's an optional party member from the original Final Fantasy VII, but she became a major character later because she was so popular.
I see. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm into adult women.
Yeah, well, you just lost half of chat. Half of chat hates you now. The other half loves you, but half now hates you.
Lord. Lord.
Okay, Ricardo Socks, thanks to the $2, and there's the gay pair, but you can't see it. Whatever, who cares? Formerly Chuck, thanks to the $5, and the keep it up pair emoji. Mel Gibson after 3 beers, thanks to the 350 New Zealand. Fuda, yeah, I know that's a great name, but Fuda is the biggest cope for closeted gays. Fuck you. OFN, thanks to the 2 Canadian. Our guy, Soycast guy, thanks to the membership. Philippe 2K5, thanks to the 2 Brazilian. The true dystopia is Brazil. Yeah, that's always a good inspiration for these cyberpunks. Is Brazil.
Yeah.
You don't want to go to
Max Payne 3. He went to Brazil, didn't it? That was a pretty cool setting.
I haven't seen Max Payne 3.
It's good, dude.
Or I haven't played it. I mean, it's. Yeah, I should play. It's just someone who one of my mods wants me to play Max Payne really bad. So one of these days
they're remaking 1 and 2, which those were really good. And I kind of like the different direction it took with 3 because I like a main character that's just down on his luck. Like the game starts off with him having been he's like on a security detail. Now he works in Brazil in a shithole, and he's like shaving his head, crying in the mirror while drinking booze and pills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like a character like that.
Ricardo Socks, thanks to the $5. Sven, how do you feel about the ADL declaring Poir from Dragon Ball Z to be an international anti-Semitic hate symbol?
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Funny.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, listen, Poir is a meme on these streams. I'm not going to explain it, but Poir has become like.
The pig. Or is he? Oh no, he's that little cat.
Yeah, he's the floating cat. We love the floating cat here.
Yeah. I was always more of a Mr. Popo type.
Oh yeah, I wonder why.
It's kind of cool, I guess.
Beef.
Poir's pretty cool.
Beef Durkee, thanks to the $5. Sven, did you see the Diaper Man got a retweet from Ye? Kanye.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, that's a Red Bar. People say he wears diaper.
Oh,
I see.
Why they say that?
I don't know. I don't know about this fucking lol cow shit that well.
I know.
All right, hold on.
Not that interesting.
Yeah, most of it's not that interesting to me. I mean, people say I'm a lol cow, so it's like, it is what it is.
It's funny, like, I will say this, though, about Mike. Mike was a huge... So he got retweeted by Kanye West. And, of course, Mike Red Bar is a big podcaster. And he was a huge Kanye West fan to the point where he was, like, let's say, parodying or paying homage to Kanye West album covers and stuff like that. For his own merchandise. He started collecting Yeezys and stuff like that. He even became a rapper at some point, you know what I'm saying? Now, at a certain point when Kanye went DEFCON 1 on the Goblins.
Yeah.
That's where all of a sudden Mike stopped talking about him altogether, which
not a true fan.
He's of the tribe.
Yeah.
And then when Kanye made a song about sucking his own cousin's cock, all of a sudden he's back on board. It's
that he can relate to.
It's an odd coincidence how that works.
Inslayer Clone, thanks to the £2, is Transformers 1 based? D16 knows the truth. The original, like the movie. Fuck, what's his name? Michael Bay's movie, or is there a Transformers series called Transformers 1? I don't know.
No clue.
In the Michael Bay movie, he did have some racial stereotype robots, I believe, swinging nuts and stuff.
Yeah. That was the second one, I think, something like that. Alex vs. Evil, the Hairline God, thanks to $2. I got both volumes of Monster Girl Encyclopedia. Devin has them too.
Yep.
Sorry to reveal that. Well, I think they already knew that, didn't they? I think I said that.
I think so.
Yeah. Mega Rock and Rolla, thanks to the $2. You should get Common America Artist on Chudcast. Common America.
That's Timothy Lim.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't know if he does interviews really, but maybe.
Yeah, maybe we could. SAS Mr. Small, thanks to the 10 months of membership. Crying emoji, no beta soon. Crying emoji, no beta or ack. Crying emoji. I don't know if I need to explain. Do I need to explain the crying?
No, you're good. It's
Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's no good.
All right.
That one's no good.
Clinically,
I don't need to know everything.
Yeah. You can stay in the dark on that one. Okay. Clinically subsidizes Sandy, thanks to the £5. Would Sven rather... Oh, God. He fucking super chatted his stupid-ass question. Okay. Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers for ears?
What?
Fingers for toes for fingers. Fingers. I would have to go fingers for ears. That's kind of the
Okay.
obvious answer.
Well,
it's odd.
Can you still hear? Or do you lose the ability
Yeah, you
to
could
hear?
kind of shape your fingers into an ear-like form, and you can wear earmuffs
Yeah, this
to not get any weird looks.
that's a horrible question.
What a dumb, retarded question that is.
Yeah,
Kill
insult
this
him.
But
Miami Vice, thanks to the $10. Asian History X after geomaxing. Okay. Are you Listen, I don't even know what to say about that. Never mind. I'm not going to get into that. Okay.
that's a list.
I don't actually hate Japanese people. I'll just say that. Okay. Anyway, what the EGAD, thanks to the $2. John Del Araz was the other dude, said 14 words. Oh, did he say them? Yeah, that was about the Smash JT thing that I brought up earlier. Wabungus, thanks to the $5. Question for you, Synth. Ever check out Motor Slice? Looks pretty cool. Chat would also like the small female. Motor Slice. Oh. Okay, maybe I'll watch this trailer later. I don't know. I'll just keep that up. Sebastian Howard, thanks to the $5. Replaying Doom 2016, watched your best of 2020 video, and agree with your points on Doom Eternal, other than when you said Eternal is better shooting. I honestly don't remember what I said 5 years ago. Maybe I changed my mind. I don't know. Augustus Friend, thanks to the 2 Brazilian. Shiloh got $542,000. Congrats on 12 millions. Okay.
Congrats on the 12 million.
AK,
Never forget.
Yeah. AK-47 your face. Thanks to the $5. Has Sven seen the Gaslight District pilot? And if he has, what are his opinions on the animation style? I was impressed with that Glitch did.
Ooh, I have not seen that. Is it an anime or something?
I don't know.
Gaslight District.
Gaslight District. Sounds kind of cool. I have not. Oh, this. I have not seen that. No, it looks a little Tim Burton-y. Stop motion.
Oh,
Looks
that's
pretty
a what's it called? The Digital Circus people made this.
Oh.
I have
Amazing
not
Digital
seen this.
Circus. The fucking clown girl everyone's jerking off to.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, so I don't remember. I don't know. Point is, it's an independent animation.
Is it like has been hotel coded
Yes.
or the cartoon?
Yes.
character?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
never
Yes.
mind.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
They're,
into that then.
Yeah, except they're more less like teenage girl, more skibbity toilet type thing.
Yeah, it's like a cartoon character. Oh, yeah, I'd like to queef. You guys want to queef?
No,
Okay,
what like way
cool.
more less adult. It's not
Alright.
yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
the animation's really good, but the writing is very bad. Is the general vibe.
Alright. I might check it out.
Yep.
Okay. Sebastian Howard, thanks $5. I thought Kirsha was going to be on. Wanted to hear her respond to balls and no balls. Listen, I'm not going to talk about that right now. I'll talk about it on a normal stream. We'll put it that. Okay. I will say there's no beef anymore. That's the good news. And we'll keep it at that for now.
Yeah, no Chudcast though, because she hates me for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's what it is. The Commodity Man, thanks to the €5. I heard Razor's accuser was an underage stripper. Maybe there's a terrible thing happening like opioid epidemics and someone needs to fix this. Okay. I'm not sure what the connection is there.
No, me neither.
Usu Kusu, thanks to the 20 DKK. Who's a better animator, Nile or Radroach HD Skibbity? I'm not going to explain what he just asked there. It's related to Fuda. We'll put it that.
Okay. I know it's bad when I'm lost. Then it's got to be something bad.
OFN, thanks to the 2 Canadian. The chosen people are burning. Okay.
Yeah, in reference to Israel.
Yep. C, thanks to the $5. Lol Smash JT just released a new video. John Del Araz exposed, unmasked as a proud anti-Semite featuring Gothic therapy. Oh no, the horror. Yeah, I don't fucking care. I don't like any of these people involved, really. I mean, John he said some based things, but people were saying that he did cringe stuff in the past. I don't know. I don't know them that well. Michael Rotondo is a toucan, thanks to the €5. There are solar eruption and G1, G3 magnetic storms these past few days, fucking over the grid in South Europe, Morocco, and fires in Israel. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, that kind of dispels the myth, though, that Israel had that HARP weather control system, because I doubt they would turn it on themselves. Or is that like 4D
they fucked it up?
Yeah.
Hired too many diversity hires, and now it's going crazy.
Yep.
HARP diversity hires.
Yeah.
AL, thanks to the $2. Bioshock is toucan propaganda. Watched Par's video. Yes, yeah. American Krogan's Bioshock videos are famous at this point, I guess, in this community. What the EGAD, thanks to the $5. Kane's Games also has an incredibly based, comprehensive, and funny Kingdom Come 2 review. I recommend everyone go watch it. Synthetic Man also referenced it. Yeah, that video's good. Michael Rotondo is a toucan, thanks to the €5. Expedition 33 does the same multiverse Infinity War shit, reviving everyone, destroying all the stakes, and care about anything. Well, other people were saying it's not actually multiverse, but whatever. I know. That stuff was semi-spoiled for me. I don't care that much, though. Klaus Mystery, thanks to 50 pesos. Bioshock symbolizes the Israeli struggle for identity, but the writers made every Chosenite in the cast retards. What did they mean by this?
Is that the subtext?
Well, kind of, yes. Basically, from what I understand, every major character in Bioshock is Jewish, like all the people in charge.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Minute World, thanks $5. Is Sven a fan of Mr. Mediker, aka Jim?
I go back and forth between that. I'm very strict when it comes to that stuff. I liked some of his stuff. I liked when he went over the entire history of Channel Awesome. Like, I'm a big Channel Awesome head. I love
same, dude.
Kick Assia.
Yeah.
Kick Assia is my favorite movie, probably. So I loved all that stuff. But I think he's sort of hammy sometimes when he does like live streams. This is very nitpicky, but then he has like pre-written jokes. You can tell that he went through the content one time. He wrote his jokes, and then during the live stream, he redoes his joke. I just don't like that type of stuff. But so I go back and forth.
Yeah, I talk about this all the time with my brother, but my problem with him is that he thinks he's too cool for school. You know what that means for thinks he's too cool for everything, but it's clearly not true. Like, you can just
he thinks
he
if he's like aloof and he goes, come on, it's just the internet, man. Who gives a frick? He thinks that keeps him away from any real criticism, because if you're not genuine and you're always joking, right, then you can't be criticized. So it's actually a form of insecurity to act like that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Butt World's Man, thanks to $2. Breaking. The N-word woman is not single. Too bad. You see these guys, they want to play matchmaker so fucking bad with me. This is what I'm saying.
Well, they're really sending you the good ones. Is that
truly.
Yeah, the N-word woman sounds like a real catch.
Yeah. Nerlic Nick, thanks to the $2. Sven's getting off easy without Ricardo being here. Oh, well, actually, he is here now.
He is here.
Ricardo.
He's the guy spamming the fucking gay pairs. That's Michael Rotondo is a toucan. Thanks to the €5. If you work with Ethan Skyver, oh shit, here we fucking go. He says, I don't even know if I want to read this. Okay. He calls Ethan Skyver a big toucan grifter with nose childs that screams about anti-Semitism. Then you are part of the problem. So
I don't know about that. I know what that's in reference to. So.
The thing is, Cyberfrog's good. So, got him.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm an artist, and if somebody wants to pay me to make a comic book, what am I gonna, I'm gonna say yes. And I think
people know what
Ethan
grifter means.
Yes,
grifter implies they're
actual...
not making something good, and
he's
Cyberfrog's
not one of
good.
these. Look, he's also I understand they go like, oh yeah, he's just drama farming with YouTube. But again, like I said in the beginning, the indie scene, you need to be your own carny barker. You need to sell your own stuff. You don't have like big corporations doing your marketing or anything. So that's just part of the gig going forward, And then yes, he is an actual professional. He drew like fucking X-Men cartoon or comics and DC comics, and Cyberfrog is good as well. Yeah.
Yeah. What makes people like Eric July a grifter is that his comic is dog shit.
It's absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't even understand the basics of storytelling at all. And then ISOM, the name, I said it sounds like a cement company or something, ISOM Logistics, or something like that. Like how is that a good name for a superhero? ISOM.
Yeah. This is like great grandpa though, dude, and they're like best friends.
Yeah, I know.
Irish Major Tom, thanks to the 20 Canadian. The British people are too gay, submissive. How many little girls have been stabbed in just under a year, and by a certain people? How many of their women have been raped by a certain people, yet they do nothing? Well, that's interesting. Interesting observation.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, but, it is what it is. Pingus Bingus, thanks to the $5. Sven, a fun memory for me was back in 2020, drunk and high on edibles, watching your George Floyd cartoon at a friend's house and lolling till I can't breathe.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Yeah,
that's a good cartoon. Maybe you guys should pull that one time. It's very short.
Yeah.
It ends with the phrase, rest in peace, the greatest black man to ever live.
There you go. That's somehow the most racist part, I feel like, already.
No, but here's the thing. I like to make things that confuse people because it's actually a very heartfelt, it's like, the greatest man that I've ever known, like this song, and it just shows beautiful depictions of George Floyd holding children like he's a messiah and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People are like, what is this? Is this really a heartfelt tribute, or is this racist? Like people couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Well, dude, part of it is he already looks like a racist caricature. Like you could literally do nothing, and it looks,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they said about the Eli Klein cartoon. Look at this racist character. It's like, dude, I literally.
No, that you.
Yeah, it looks just like
accurate.
her. Yeah.
It's just her, dude.
Oh shit.
Sebastian Howard, thanks for $5. Eric July's channel was actually good before he did ISOM. He lost all his edge and doesn't review anything, just promotes his bad comics. I never really watched him.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Ricardo Cumsocks, thanks to the $5. Sven, how do you feel about marrying a nice Down syndrome girl? Synth is always threatening his mom with this.
What?
None of that is fucking true. It's based on a clip where I said I would date a retarded woman. That's it.
There's a new trend going on. Do you see this? Where like there was this one viral video where somebody AI'd a Down syndrome face on like this big booty, big titty chick.
Yeah.
Right? And it went viral. People were like, what the fuck? They make Down syndrome chicks like this?
Yeah.
And then because that one went mega viral, these dumb OnlyFans bitches, they started to capitalize on the trend. And now you have OnlyFans bitches putting Down syndrome AI faces on themselves.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
This is
That's
like
great.
what? This is talk about clown world, huh?
That's
Yeah.
funny.
AL, thanks to the $2. Thoughts on Brittany Venti? Did you just ask him? You know what, Sven, you answer. How about that? I won't answer.
Well, I I used to date a chick who was best friends with Brittany Venti. I met her a bunch of times. What I remember of Brittany Venti is because I work for what's it called again? Skankfest. It's like New York Comedy Festival. I do the posters and stuff for that. So I went to Skankfest in New York. That's where I met her. And I remember she was like burping out loud in public, like belching out big fat burps. That's what I remember. I think it was sort of disgusting.
All right.
That's all I know. That's all I know. If somebody asks me a question, I go into my brain lexicon. That's all I remember.
That's a good answer. I feel like I've learned a lot.
Yeah, that was a good one. M. Garcia, thanks to the $2. What the fuck? Gay anal grape. Oh, because he's talking about what you were describing. Is low tier god your ghostwriter?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Do you know who low tier god is?
No.
Oh no,
damn.
dude.
He's one of the biggest lol cows.
Man.
Yeah, he's.
Is it?
Yeah, he's a black guy who plays fighting games and talks. You know, he says. He goes on these huge speeches, you know, we're not going to go into it, but he's very obsessed with, you know, BBCs and fucking people's moms. And like he has a speech about telling people to kill themselves that is famous.
Well, I tend to avoid, I'm going to be honest, I avoid black content. I don't look at July. I don't look at black streamers. It's not really my thing. I don't listen to rap. I don't give a shit about any of it.
Right, yeah.
He's, what's funny is he's like a, you know, I don't know, like BBC type black man, like Tyrone-esque guy, but he's like the gayest motherfucker on the planet. Like that's what makes it funny.
They're all gay. All black guys are gay. That's what we're learning. Kanye West, gay. He's gay.
So true.
Dr. Dre, gay. They're all fucking gay.
Yeah,
you know
Diddy,
like Tupac Shakur, the quintessential gangsta ass. I was about to say it again.
Yeah, all the prison rapes, pretty much all the prison rapes are done by them. So, yeah.
DMX, he's the only straight black man.
Gangster culture is just fucking cringe and gay. Like even Italian shit. Like, yo, motherfucker, you mess with the family, you mess with me. Oh yeah, do I? Fucking bitch, shut up. Like that whole thing is just so gay. What are you bragging about? That you live in squalor and that you have a lot of crime? You think that's cool?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. I'm sick of it. I don't want to venerate any of these guys. Go back to Africa. Thank you.
All right. Well, I didn't say that. Only he said that, not me.
Hypothetically, that's an idea.
Yeah.
Just an idea in Minecraft that I had.
Well, just know that all of chat loves what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Anywho.
Michael Rotondo is a toucan, thanks to 10 euros. Ethan Van Skyver. Okay, here we go. I'm not even going to read that.
Fuck it.
And then he sent another 5 euros with another Ethan Van Skyver related thing. Ricardo Cumsocks, thanks to the $5. Sven, Devin is 5'1". That's not true, but
that's not true.
His license says he's 5'1".
Not anymore. It used to.
Oh yeah, it was your old one.
They fucked up my license and they said I was 5'2".
Okay.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. Well, I want to read the rest because it's funny, but it says Devin is 5'1". Would you draw a troon breastfeeding him?
What the fuck?
That might be an Easter egg in the next one.
Yeah, great. I can look for myself. Fucked over. That's great.
All right. OFN, thanks to the 2 Canadian. It's a fucking pair. And then shit, hold on. York Oxmall, thanks to the $2. It's another gay pair. Klaus Mystery, thanks to 50 pesos. I love Yuffie, 6 feet under dirt after I silence her. But you like Red 13, don't you? You want to fucking get fucked by a dog. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that, but that's true. Okay. What I just said. Anyway, Wiz Division Productions, thanks to the 10 months of membership. Sven confirmed Final Fantasy Scarlet fan. Suck it, Yuffie fans. He doesn't even know who Scarlet is.
I have no fucking clue what any of this is about.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Final Fantasy 7 still.
It's just the MILF character who's evil. Class Mystery, thanks to 50 pesos. Poir. Game Sense, thanks to the $2. Play Max Payne 1 and 2, not the remake. Remedy is dead.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, WizDivision Productions, thanks for $5. All right, Sven, enough with the softball interview questions. Time for the real heavy hitters. Did DSP do anything wrong? Did he do everything correct? Dark Side Phil.
I don't know. Everything correct. He rules. Look, I see the clips. I've seen the clip of him jacking off. That's an old one. That's a classic where he accident. That's every streamer's nightmare, by the way, that you accidentally leave your camera on and you jack off.
Yep.
I saw one recently where he's doing there's a comparison between a VTuber, girly VTuber doing a Zelda Breath of the Wild puzzle and immediately figuring it out, and then DSP fucking around for 3 hours and he can't figure out the simplest puzzle. I guess there's some fun to be had watching a guy fuck around, but I've never really tuned into his streams, let's say.
Yeah,
but I think he's a classic lol cow.
Yeah, well, the people bring him up because they relate him to me, and I'm not going to get into it. But just, it's a meme
because you
here.
fucked up on stream one time?
Oh, yeah. God of War Ragnarok, I had a full retard playthrough of that game, but I won't get into it. But it's followed me around for years. We'll just keep it at that.
That game sucked, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Sucked dick.
Absolutely. The Commodity Man, thanks to the $2 or €2. Speaking of Bay, Will Smith kills cat eaters in BB2. What's it called?
Bad Boys?
Yeah, Bad Boys 2. Yeah, that must be what he's talking about. Kills cat eaters. So like the Chinese, he kills. I've seen
Haitians.
Bad Boys 2.
Haitians?
Does he kill
the
Haitians? I can't remember Bad
know.
Boys 2 that well. I haven't seen it in so long.
Yeah.
Skitter the Sauce Man, thanks to the 10 months membership. Did you see that white mom raised 500K? Yeah, we brought that up. Yeah, the N-word one. Ricardo Cumsocks, thanks to the $10. Sven, if you could go back in time to the time of baby Hitler and you actually found him, in order to solve the world's future problems, how hard would you protect this precious angel?
Yeah. I fall for his beautiful blue eyes. Yeah. We'd have to protect him.
Yeah. OFN, thanks to the 10 Canadian. Chat, pray for wind. Oh, for Israel.
Defend the flame.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Klaus Visser, thanks to the 20 pesos. John said the 14 words. He's so banned that, the journalist guy. I might have to look that up because that's crazy if true. It's probably true. C, thanks to the $2. John was making fun of furries. He is not one. Okay. Did people say he was a furry? Yeah, I wasn't listening. Bob, thanks to the 5 Canadian. Yo, Synth, I love Ricardo Cumsocks. He's my favorite Israeli. I hope he's okay during whatever the heck is going on over there in the long nose land. Yeah. Klaus Mystery, thanks to the 50 pesos. Andrew Ryan with 3 parentheses, retard. Tenenbaum with 3 parentheses, retard. Sander Cohen with 3 parentheses, confirmed a retard artist in Bioshock 1 and a trafficker of little girls in Infinite. There, yeah, I mean, all the major characters of Bioshock were like that for some reason.
That's interesting. Did you cover that in your review of it or no?
No, I didn't talk about Bioshock, but American Krogan, a famous anti-Semitic YouTuber who got banned, he made a very, very long coverage of Bioshock 1 and Infinite, talking about that stuff.
Yeah, but if people go like, oh yeah, what was it? That Medal of Honor is also every World War II game or movie is woke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even Star Wars, people forget about Star Wars. By the way, I think people don't really talk about this, but the Jedi is a prosecuted chosen people, which is derived from Jehudi, which is the old Hebrew word for Jew, right? Jehudi, Jedi, and they have to go. They're obviously. What was it? Order 66, the 6 million. They have to go and hiding under the floorboards from the big Nazi-like emperor. Like, what do you think this is about? People go, things were so much better in the 90s or the 80s.
Yeah,
like, it's always been there, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yep. That's true. People are loving what you're saying right now. It's like
I mean, it's the truth.
Yep. Klaus Mister, thanks 20 pesos. Yes, Sander Cohen is a nonce. Mogged by a lolly, thanks to the $5. Sven, are you planning on making a comic strip about the recent events surrounding Shiloh? It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but it would be cool.
I know who Shiloh is.
Yeah, I don't really... I've seen people mention this person before, but I'm not really sure who they are either. I feel like I should know.
So no, the answer is no, I wasn't planning on that. Yeah.
Woman... Oh, this is the woman. Yeah, the racial slur woman. That's her name. Is
her
Shiloh.
name is Shiloh. Oh, okay.
Maybe it's pronounced differently.
Maybe, well, he means maybe an American Man one? Oh, that could, maybe, yeah. I really haven't had time to do any American Mans this week. I have to get my ass back on that.
Well, there you go.
Or whoever makes those comics, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Not you, but hypothetically,
Not me.
whoever does
I
that.
would never do anything like that.
Anyway, WizDivision Productions, thanks to $2. Shows Sven the Drink Cup official music video. I don't think so. We don't have time for that.
We'll do that next time.
Yeah, you know what? If you come on again, I swear I'll show you the drink. It's very
Dude, I'll
funny.
hang out with you guys anytime you need me to come in here and drop some based takes.
Yeah, you're definitely in the top 3 guests. The joke is there's only
right,
3.
It's an honor.
No, but I think people are loving the bass shit. Jokes aside, they are.
There you go.
Wotan, thanks to the $2. Tortellini Tyrones beat the fuck out. WizDivision Productions, thanks to the $5. Sven avoids black content. Thinks ghetto black people are gay. She insta subbed. This guy, this guy fucks. Uncle Ruckus Wizda is now a fan. All right, there you go.
Yeah, go sub to my channel too, guys. Sven streams. I do streams.
Yeah,
there as
hold
well.
on. I had that up.
In between Chudcast, you can go listen to
there it
Sven
is.
streams.
Yep, there you go.
It's at Sven streams. We need a lot more subs. I lost 36,000 subscribers. People don't even know I exist anymore. And we're now, what are we at? 1,000. That's pathetic.
Well, I'm sure
Yeah,
we'll
guys,
build
please
that
listen.
back up.
Hell yeah, that would be nice.
Chris Koss. Thanks to the $5. Shout out Sven, the most Sigma Ligma gamer I know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sigma Ligma grind set mindset is what I'm all about.
Yep.
Create that bag and all that.
Creator's Freedom, thanks to the $2. Would you stop World War I or World War II? I'm gonna leave you for that one. One, okay. Okay.
Duh.
Michael Rotondo is a toucan, thanks to the €20. If you go comics gay, oh god, here we fucking go again. Why? Stop schizo sending money about Ethan Van Sciver, please.
Yeah, but guys, I'm not even really involved in that whole drama. I literally know nothing about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? For real. Like, I really couldn't care less about all the comics gate stuff.
People are just.
I came in way after all that shit was already full force, and I'm not about to sit here and absorb a bunch of, like, imagine having to go back to like streams from 2018 to catch up on some like minute drama between other men. Like, I literally could not care less.
Yeah.
But yeah, people love drama. I just
Yeah,
don't
they
know
do.
anything about it.
That's why. Well, actually, I'm not going to talk about it because we don't have time. But they want to involve me in drama too, and I try to stay out of it mostly, outside of just talking shit sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
Axolotl, thanks to the $5. Hey Sven, do you like Simon Hanselman's work?
Simon Henselman's. I don't know who that is either. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I don't
Who
know
is that?
either.
No clue.
Shout outs to Simon Henselman. Watch this be some kind of a World War II propagandist or something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a, you know, one of those. I don't know what words I'm allowed to say. You know, it's a man who looks like a woman. You know, who's doing all that deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a joke. It was a joke, I think.
It was a joke. No way.
Yeah.
Maybe. You never know.
Izzy, thanks to the $5. This is the best podcast. Salute. And does Sven like the movie The Boondock Saints? And what does Sven think of Rocco's joke to the boss in the movie?
It's been a long time since. Isn't that the one with Norman Reedus? People always say that I look like Norman Reedus, by the way, and that guy's like 55. So I don't know if that's a compliment or not. But I haven't seen that one in a while. But I remember it being pretty good. Isn't
Yeah,
that the
it's
one with,
great.
It's a great movie.
It has Willem Dafoe in it, which rules. That guy rules.
Yeah, you're right.
I might have to rewatch that again soon, actually.
Yeah,
It's a good movie.
Let's see. Midwit Productions, thanks to the £5. Jedi was derived from the Sengoku Jidai, you plucking retard.
No, wrong. No, you're wrong. You're gay. You're gay.
Hey, fuck you.
This guy's woke and gay. Get out of here.
No, don't talk to me.
Okay, all right. There's only a few more. We're almost done here. Don't worry.
Right.
People need to stop sending me money. Enough. Sebastian Howard, thanks to the $5. Sven, the Jedi were portrayed as too strong-headed, strict, and wrong, which is why Anakin turned to the dark side. Luke perfects the Jedi mindset on his own. Okay.
I'll be honest, I've never watched a single Star Wars movie, so you might be right.
Are you fucking serious?
Dude,
After all that, you didn't see
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Okay. Oh, you're joking. Okay.
Damn it. I thought you were with me. Fuck Star Wars, dude. I hate that.
No, look, I will say this. I told the story on a podcast before, but I don't remember. Remember when they re-released the Star Wars movie? This was in the late 90s. I took my friends on a birthday party. I must have been maybe 9 or 10, okay? So my mom dropped us off at the movie theater, and we went in, and it was so boring that we were just yelling through the movie. And then the cinema personnel, they kicked us out. So now there's a bunch of 10 years old standing on the sidewalk, and my mom, she was doing shopping in the city. And I think what we started doing is, this is really crazy, this is us in the 90s, we figured out that when you put your finger down your throat, you can make yourself vomit.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
So we sat in front of instead of watching Star Wars, the epic trilogy, we sat in front of the cinema, shoving our fingers down our throats, creating little puddles.
That's good.
That's great.
That's my memory of Star Wars.
Oh shit.
Ricardo
Anyways,
comes.
let's get through this.
Yeah. There's only we need.
Yeah.
I will rapid fire. There's less than 10 left. Ricardo comes socks. Thanks to $5. It's so not fair. If dropping the N-word was really worth $500K a pop, Devin would be worth more than Elon Musk right now.
Yeah, I know. Where's my money?
Same with Thomas. Thomas would be too.
Yeah, me too. Honestly.
Yeah. That's great. I would never say it though. Me, I've never said it ever before in my life.
You wouldn't do that.
No, I would never do that. No, not even privately. Never even thought it either.
You're a good person.
Yeah. Rhett, thanks to the 8 Australian. It's like what Charles Carroll says. Toucan propaganda is in all movies, TV, games, entertainment. Mostly as a distraction and a demoralization method. Yep.
Sure.
Ricardo Cumsocks, thanks to the $10. Sven, sorry to bring it up one last time, but now that you've had some real time to think over the controversy, have you changed your position on the whole balls versus no balls food thing?
You know what? I did have a lot of time to think, but I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you guys on that one.
Yeah, just do some research. Do some research.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go into the mountains here in Bali over the weekend. I'll play some gong instruments, some Himalayan bells, and I'll really contemplate this question.
Wiz Division Productions, thanks to the $2. Sven, thoughts on Flash Gits?
What is that again?
You don't.
Animator or something?
Yeah, they're the famous edgy animators. Yeah, they're huge. They're doing the Warhammer 40K ripoff right now.
That space.
I'd have to. I'm familiar, but I'm not.
Have you seen Racist Mario? It was the #1 viewed video on YouTube once upon a time.
Wait, racist who?
Racist Mario.
Racist Mario. No.
It's a classic cartoon. You should check them out. You'd love them. I mean, they're not as edgy as you, I don't think, but they're close on certain things.
I made a Mario cartoon too, by the way. You guys, by the way, my cartoons are all gone because they deleted my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But you can check them out on X still. I made a Mario cartoon where Super Mario gets cancer and dies of cancer.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Oh God, here we go. Just some guy thanks $2. Sven, Fuda, or feet? You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. Tarot Master.
I don't think in binaries.
Yeah. Tarot Master 4657. Thanks to the $2. Expedition 33 review. No, it's too late. Gilgamesh. Thanks to the 20 pesos. An artist that appreciates man, rare and admirable. Yep. He's jerking you off right now. Is what he's doing.
Nice.
Minute World, thanks to the $5. Tell chat to be less autistic when you have guests on. God forbid you ever have Kirsch on. There will be an insane amount of moderation if somehow she's ever on here. I'll just say that. And that was the last.
I enjoy the
chat.
autism.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you're a good guest for the autism, but if we ever have more normal people, we'll have to tone it down. All right, that's
well-adjusted normal people.
Yeah. Well, that was the final super chat. So we're gonna wrap this up.
Nice.
You're a great guest. I'll just say it. You know, good fit.
Good times.
Yeah, I had a good time, guys. It was awesome being on the Chudcast. We got to do it again sometime.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Plug all your stuff again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I would love for people to go check out Sven's streams. That's still on the screen, or
yeah. I've got
Sven streams. That's my YouTube. We got to get that up to like 10K at least. So if everybody could go there and subscribe, you'll enjoy it. If you like this type of content, you know, with a little bit of art, drawing and stuff here and there. But we go over the news. We make fun of the news and stuff like that. And yeah, of course, go get Butch Gilligan right now. So here's how this thing works, by the way. You do your crowdfund. And again, like I said, my book is already done when I do the crowdfund. So it's like a pre-order, basically. And then all those books get printed. But for instance, you get like 733 backers for a campaign. And a printer, they don't print at specific amounts. So you always have to print surplus. So I think right now, instead of 733, I printed 1,000 books. So that surplus is now available in extremely limited quantities. And you are going to want to get this book. It's an epic saga. And of course, these are going to be collectible. The first edition of book 1 is no longer available even. Those are out of print. We did a reprint of that with a new cover. But yeah, go check it out. Butch Gilligan, dystopian, crazy comedy and action and gore and based satire. And what else do I have? Oh, and there's this comic. It's called America Man or something. I don't know. Maybe you can go check that out.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't. Who knows what that is? But yeah,
nobody really knows what that is about. But yeah, maybe go check that out if you have some extra time on your hands.
Okay, I'll pop these last 3 and then we'll end it. Ricardo Comstock, thanks to the $2 in the pair. Michael Rotando's 2 again, thanks to €2. I warned you they get YouTube channels banned. I'm assuming he's talking about chat or maybe super chats possibly. And then Retargus 2, thanks to the 2 Brazilian. One more to stall. Also, you are really cool, Sven, subbed.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Okay, that's it for this episode of Chudcast. Probably won't do it on Tuesday, so we'll skip next week, I think. But that's about it. I'll see you next time, guys.
All right. Bye, Jet.